First round of the NFL Draft. We all know who's going number one. We just don't know who the hell is going to go after that.
Well, I mean, you got a pretty good idea. It's look, we've been here for less than a full day, and I've already had more people lie to my face than you could count.
It is the lying season.
No
It's
doubt.
all frenzied. We're all right here the eve of the biggest night in 32 gentlemen's lives. Lives are going to be changed tomorrow night at Marcius Park, and we will be there live, of course. We'll be covering it all from Radio Row. We were not aware Radio Row is not open right now.
Radio Row's not a thing until the draft starts.
Yes.
So we're live from a high-rise in Detroit.
We'll just, for those of you who we teased all week last week that we were going to be live from Radio Row all 3 of these days, the email that was sent by the communications department for the NFL was a little hard for some dumbass hillbillies from North Carolina to understand.
That would be me he was referring to. I would be the hillbilly
I'm in
in
it
question.
too. I'm in it too because I read that email and I went, okay, well, we just have to get permission to be there, but there is no such Radio Row until tomorrow evening.
Yes,
so,
because Radio Row is currently at Corner Ballpark.
Yes.
Because they're doing the Play 60 event. So
Yes.
we could have done the show from there. There's but one problem. Jeremy did not come prepared to be outside because there's
cold.
this. Well, A, it's cold. Good
cold.
gracious, it is cold here. B, there's this thing in the sky called the sun that cameras really don't like.
Yeah, no.
And so you have to bring filters, and you get to do all the things.
Yep, I don't like any of the things. So it is. The temperature doesn't look bad. It's 41 degrees outside of our palatial.
Don't believe it. It's
Airbnb
6
here.
degrees.
The wind chill factor right now is 31, though.
I can say, from where we're sitting, I can look out the window and see Canada from my house.
Yes, you can.
We went full Sarah Palin.
We're staying just on the outskirts of downtown Detroit, and we're gonna get into some NFL-y stuff coming up this evening. You'll be able to follow all of the adventures of Tank and Jeremy. Yes, I had to stop at a dispensary when we got here because it's friggin' legal, and I'm breaking no rules.
I do feel like you're not being honest with the people because, yes, you said you had to stop at a dispensary
Yes.
when we got here.
Yes.
You left out that it was the first place that we went as soon as we got in the car.
Well, of course it
We
was.
left the airport in our rental car, and Tank starts driving, and all of a sudden we get into this neighborhood that doesn't feel like the neighborhood we're staying in. And where are you going there, buddy? And then I see a sign that says, you can have free weed. And I went, I know what we're doing. I know why we're here, because that took 2 of Tank's great loves, crimes and free.
Free, exactly. So, we did stop over at the dispensary first thing. It was between the airport and where we're staying. So we've done that. Look, I wanna have the full immersive Detroit experience, the cultural experience. Jeremy's gonna make me go to the tourist trap that is Mom's Spaghetti later.
Oh, we're doing that.
Ugh.
And
Despite the
I'll sing
fact
that song
that
the whole
every
way.
person you've ever met, every person that's ever been there, the girl at the front desk that told us where the greatest pizza in the world exists, which is at Buddy's Original in downtown Detroit. We had it delivered here.
Mm-hmm.
That Detroit-style pizza knocked my socks off.
The pizza wars are over. New York, you lost. Chicago, you lost.
I'm not calling it. I'm not
You're
calling it
doing
because
it
I've never
wrong.
been there. I've
You're
never
doing it
been
wrong.
to New York. I've never been to Chicago, so I've never had like true New York pizza, true Chicago deep dish pizza. I have been to Detroit though, and I've had Detroit style pizza original, and that stuff changed my life.
I will say, I didn't realize that we had all the.
A smattering of tomato sauce on top. It's got the pepperonis and the basil and all of the great things, and it is just the perfect amount of greasy, just you have to have some grease to the pizza.
Yeah, we have a food review coming out on our socials later of that. We also have a food review of Tim Hortons.
Yes, Tim Hortons. Spoiler alert: sucks.
Yeah, it's not great.
No, it's terrible. It might just be the chain that we went to, but I went to Tim Hortons,
in round 2.
Michigan Avenue.
In season 2, excuse me.
And
that it just makes
it's
the
not-
most sense in the world to
it's
me.
not great.
And as long as Kraft is going to be patient with his.
We're not on the air. Hello. Okay, we cut out. Did we disconnect?
This turnover.
Apparently
are
we
the ones
did.
that have had
We're
a
good.
lot of success over a long-term period.
Yeah,
of
we're
time,
on a
including the
brick
Patriots.
in case anybody is. It gives me an alert, but it didn't say anything.
Yes.
So
Okay.
if we disappear, we'll be back momentarily.
Yes. Thank you to Thomas for running the show back in the studio for us in the palatial Ingalls studio. Low prices, love the savings. I wish I had an Ingalls donut this morning to take
Yes.
the taste out of my mouth from that Tim Hortons donut. It's just not good. I was told, though, by my good friend Ray, who has his wife's Canadian. I saw him in Indianapolis when we went up there. That he said that Canadian Tim Hortons way better than American Tim Hortons. So I'm going to give it to you, Canadians. I'm gonna say that the American Tim Hortons branch let you down because it was terrible. No flavor to the donuts whatsoever, other than the sugar that was on them. And you need Krispy Kreme up here bad.
Yeah, Tim Hortons. She was a big old letdown. I'm just gonna
The
be honest
coffee
with you.
was good, though. I will say the dark roast coffee was good.
The coffee was fine. The coffee is coffee, and you know.
So hit us up in the YouTube chat and on social media at ESPN Draft Nerd, at Sports Tank ESPN. If you've got another suggestion for a Detroit experience that we need to take in, hit us up in the chat. Let us know. Like I said, we want to hit all of the things while we're here. I'll give it a fair shake. Buddies, best pizza on the planet. Tim Hortons, possibly worst donut I've ever had. So
I can't say it's the worst donut I've ever had. I can say it's the most overrated donut I've ever had.
Yeah. Absolutely. Robin Sparkles would be pissed.
Well, I mean, everybody knows where they were when Robin Sparkles broke down, and they will tell you about it on Much Music. But
Yes.
Tim Hortons, grossly overrated.
All right, so here's what we want to do on the program today. Last night, we're getting all excited for the draft. I'm going through just making sure that I know something about all of these draft picks, right? I mean, because we know the guys at the top. Any rando fan knows Caleb Williams, Drake May. Here's the thing. We're going to be here for 2 days. We're going to have 3 rounds of this thing.
I'll be live day 3.
Yes, you will.
Just always got to throw that back in there. Our buddies at the Village Porch. If you would like to come celebrate the end of Draftmas and say goodbye to Jeremy before he goes into the darkness for, that trip.
It gets longer and longer
It
as
does.
you're going here.
I may just never come back. And honestly, I may never come back. As long as they keep letting me do cool things like this, I'll never disappear entirely.
I was going to say, here's the thing. They're not going to let you keep doing cool stuff if you just disappear.
Well, here's the thing. I got married a year ago. We haven't been on a honeymoon yet.
need to
That's
do
happening
that.
in 2 weeks.
Yes.
We have a couple other trips. I got to go see a couple comedian friends of mine. So I will still be here doing the show. I just won't be in the studio with Tank.
Yes. It will be all fine. We'll carry on with or without you through the darkness times after the NFL draft. But let's get down to it. All right, we've already wasted 9 minutes here.
As you do.
As you do when you're on a new adventure. So as we're going through, Jeremy officially submitted his top 100
I
last
did,
night.
and I'm telling you, that went to the absolute. I waited as long as I could wait. It was due last night at 11:59. I think I submitted at 11:30.
Okay.
I did not get the "it's been received" until this morning.
So cutting it down to the wire on the top 100.
Just because there's so many players in this class that are high-level draftable. The third round tomorrow on the show with our first day at Radio Row, you will be able to see my official draft board, which is if I was a GM for an NFL team, this is how my board would look up on the wall.
Yeah.
You'll realize that there are a ton of guys in that 3rd to 4th round range. I've got when it all came down to it, I had 21 first-round grades. I had 18, and then I had a couple guys at the last minute that got into that first-round territory. It's really good at the top. Then there's a bit of a drop. You have about a 50 prospect meaty clackers from 22 to 75, and then from 75 to 175. There's not a lot of difference.
Really?
You get guys now. Once you get past 175, I think they might draft me. They saw my name. He's a big old biggin, and he's probably better than what's out there. Because at least that's a big boy.
Higher ceiling or lower floor? Are you the low floor or the high ceiling? You'd have to be the low floor.
I'm a dog. That's what I am. You know what I'm going to do?
After it.
I'm going to lighten things in the locker. I'm a locker room leader.
Yeah. I can't go that deep. I really can't. I really can't do 100 draft picks.
Nobody ever doubted that.
Stop that. But here's the thing. It's all names you know here at the bottom. That's how kind of deep this class is.
No
I get
doubt.
what you said after 175, it drops off a cliff. But, I mean, there are a lot
That's an NIL thing, though.
But there are a lot of impact players that are going to be able to be had in the third and fourth rounds of this
no
draft.
doubt. I mean, and look, the thing to think about with that drop-off that does come off the cliff at 175, that is an NIL thing because we haven't fully cycled all the way through. What that means is that next year's draft class is going to be 300 strong.
Yeah.
So what that means is if your team starts making moves this year, and because I think there's going to be a ton of trades from about 25 to 100, and if your team starts racking up prospects or picks for next year, just understand those are prospects that, yes, you do have to wait 365 years for, but it's going to be worth it.
Yes, 365 days, not years.
Did I say years?
You did.
300.
That's a long.
I've waited 365 years.
It's been a long time, but finally, Christian Mahogany's paying off.
We traded for this pick when Keith Richards was born.
And I use his name because I was kind of trying to create my own top 100 on walkthemock.com last night, our fun little website that we use for our all listener draft. And their top 100 ends at Christian.
Got a super chat.
w.com/Dell
Do
client.
like that.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are
No,
unsportsmanlike.
The best thing at Busch Stadium are the pulled pork nachos that you get, and those things are messy. You get a fork, you get many napkins, but it's the best thing you're going to eat at the ballpark.
Yeah, I mean, wings are no messier than that.
You know what I'm not going to do? Police what
Nope.
people eat at the ballpark.
That part.
You know what? You paid money to
Can
be
hear us
here.
now.
You probably paid $30-40 for those wings. You enjoy them.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekday morning starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2. The Low Post Podcast with Zach Lowe.
I've had Jason Tatum in pencil in the fifth spot. The end. It might be Jalen Brunson. And if you play drop defense on him like
I'm
the
here.
Celtics do,
I don't know why it keeps
he's
dropping.
just
We
gonna
can
torch you
we
like
we
you're
can hear the station. You should be able to
hear you now.
hear us. All right,
I got
are we
you now.
back? Are we back live?
You are back live.
We
There
are
we
back
go.
live. All
We're
right,
going to
here we
figure
go.
out why that keeps happening. It's something in here because it's freezing my computer up too.
Yeah, we may have some.
You know what I'm going to blame it on? Tank, who has tripped over the setup 3 times in the hour we've been back here.
It's not my fault. You keep blaming me all you want to. All right, so where were you headed with that? Do you even remember? We were talking about the depth of this draft.
Well, you do have players in that 100 range of this year's class that they would have been in the 60s of plenty of others because you're that good here. And there are guys that just missed that. I mean, I'll tell you, Marshawn Lloyd, he's not my top 100. Cedric Gray, he's not my top 100. Johnny Wilson, you know how much I love Johnny Wilson.
Oh, yeah.
He's not my top 100.
Okay.
So, I mean, you're going to get guys in the beginning of day 3 that are really, really good, and I'm very excited. We're going to get our technical issues figured out. This is our first stream, and this is our first show here from the draft. and we weren't 100% planning on doing a show from here. We thought we'd be at Radio Row. So we're going to take a quick break.
Yes.
When we come back from the break, we should be all settled, and it's time to get in the top 100.
Yes, you are in the Sportsocracy, and we are live in the D right outside of downtown Detroit for the 2024 NFL Draft. We'll be right back after this.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation.
All right, you're clear.
Thank you. All right, extend this break because I don't know what's happening. I think he's rolling over the power cord. But it extended to like 5 minutes. We can get it figured out.
Okay.
3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.
All right, we've got 5 minutes in the break now.
That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Bonus bucks. No, not those. These. Win $1,000 in bonus bucks right here. Keep listening for the keywords to enter at our website.
Brought to you by Discount Shoes.
Step into savings at Discount Shoes on Brevard Road. Find your favorite brands for the whole family at unbeatable prices. From sporty sneakers to chic sandals, we've got it all. Hurry in and walk out with a deal that'll have you stepping in style. Discount Shoes, 1255 Brevard Road, Asheville.
QC Kinetics announces the arrival of National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, an acclaimed orthopedic surgeon with 2 decades of experience and extensive research in regenerative medicine.
But I was one of the first orthopedic surgeons to do it, and at the same time I integrated clinical research that's resulted in several publications that are really directing the future of regenerative medicine. I was drawn to QC Kinetics after I reviewed their protocols, and everything they were doing is consistent with my own approach.
Today, Dr. Scheinkup leads the entire team of medical professionals at QC Kinetics, taking this exciting medical breakthrough to a whole new level.
What we are doing at QC Kinetics is transforming lives.
Get lasting joint pain relief. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
This is the future of medicine.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
Did you know Ingalls only sells USDA Choice and Prime cuts of meat? Maybe it's time to reward yourself. Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. Grass-fed, organic, you name it. Not only that, we'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. And we grind meat fresh in the store multiple times a day. It's all in the bag. That's the best meat in town for the best folks in town. Ingalls. Low prices. Love the savings.
Above and beyond. That's what defines our commitment to our customers at Parks Ford Hendersonville. As your hometown dealer, Parks Ford works hard for you to provide a one-of-a-kind buying experience through incredible service, honest communication, and trusted accountability. Stop by to experience the Parks Promise yourself, a promise to do better, to be better every day. We can't wait to meet you and help you find the right vehicle for you. Stop in and shop ParksFordHendersonville.com. That's ParksFordHendersonville.com.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team...
Can you hear me? Are you guys there?
Through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and...
All right, cool.
Right here in Asheville. Personal delivery within...
All right, we've got about 30 seconds. Is there a... easy way to add in like a random spot?
GraphicsAVL.com, your one-stop custom apparel shops.
If you're looking
I'll
to
put a promo in the
invest in
log
real
here,
estate in the
and
mountains,
then,
you need to call the agents at Clarissa
when you
Sells
see it pop up,
WNC,
just throw it
brokered
over on
by
the button
eXp
bar. Just
Realty.
have it ready.
Check us
You
out
can play it from the
online
button
at
bar.
clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that
All right, how do I throw it on the button bar?
we love
Just
teachers
move it
so
and drag
much,
it
we're giving back
out of
25%
the
of our
login
commission
on the
at
button
closing. For more information,
All right, cool. Does it need to be a blank spot, or is it okay if I just put it over top of something?
43 or clarissasellswnc at gmail.
Oh, you're back, though.
You don't mind. Music.
The Sportsocracy.
We're just dumping a bag of hammers. And we are back live in downtown Detroit, 2024 NFL Draft. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. We are the Sportsocracy. You can follow us on all the social medias at the Sportsocracy.
We think we figured out our technical issue.
Let's hope that it's there.
We stretched this. Somebody said it was bootleg Wi-Fi. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. This is the fastest Wi-Fi in the history of Wi-Fi.
Oh, they got what's it called? Rocket Fiber?
Yes.
This fiber optic network is the fastest we've ever seen.
We did the speed test on this to make sure everything was going to work. If you added our studio to the old Elk Park studio, to my house, to the Village Porch, to Tank's house, if we added all of our bandwidth together, we would still be 100 megabytes per second slower than where we are right now. So it's not the internet.
Now, as far as the as the power connections go in this little complex that we're in, I can't vouch for that. But we will we'll strive forward here. Top 100 prospects. Jeremy Greene's top 100 was officially submitted last night for the media contest, and it's just a very deep class.
It's the deepest class I've ever seen.
Where do you start?
My number 100 was Javon Baker, the wide receiver out of Central Florida. I look at him with the Kansas City Chiefs or one of these teams that plays really vertical, really spread out. He's going to be a quality 3. And that may sound like, but I thought you said this class was really deep. I am, and it is, because he's the 16th receiver on my board.
Yeah.
There's 100 guys on this list. 16 of them are wide receivers.
That is a lot. There's a whole lot of talent. He's got. I'm looking at at the physical breakdown of him, wingspan and all of that. His physical comps: Romeo Doubs, Malik Neighbors, Reggie Wayne. I feel like that's pretty good company to be in.
I like the Romeo Dobbs comparison.
Yep.
I think that one's pretty solid.
Wingspan, I mean, they've all of them big wingspan, great athletes, little small, but other than that,
he is a little small.
Kind of a physical freak.
He is. Look, I mean, he's a really talented player, and I think he will come directly into this league. And I think he's got number 2 upside. I think he comes in immediately as your 3. And I would struggle to believe that he's any lower than that.
All right. Who else is in this little group here in the 90s?
All right, 99's Gabriel Murphy from UCLA, who we've talked about. He doesn't get the same amount of love that Leatu Latu does. A lot of other edge rushers in this class. But I do think there's a possibility that when we look back on this class, because you and I love doing that, we look back and go, how did we miss on him? As a guy that goes at the end of the 3rd round, comes in, immediately can get after the quarterback. I think he has 3 down potential in time. It's just going to take a minute. Mm-hmm. And in a class like this where edge rusher is, and let's be honest, it's good at the top. It gets bootsy in a hurry.
Yeah.
And you get into, to me, as soon as you get into Marshawn Nealon, which is in the 30s, that's when you start going, okay, pass rusher, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, and not everybody's going to love everybody the way that other teams do.
Yep, 39.5-inch vertical.
Which is
at the
insane.
combine for Gabriel Murphy.
Which is insane.
It is absolutely insane. That puts him in the 96th percentile all time. As an edge rusher.
He has physical freak potential.
Okay, next up.
This was, and this is going to sound weird because I've already released 2 players. this was the last player that made it in. It's Andrew Phillips, the corner out of Kentucky. I'm not going to say I wasn't as high on him. I wasn't as high on him as others were. I wasn't down on him is where I was trying to get with this. I just don't necessarily think he's as plug-and-play as other people do. I want him to play zone. So Andrew Phillips somewhere like Tampa Bay or with one of these teams that plays a ton of zone, I think he can come in and start right away. Where he kind of loses me is that he played a lot of man at Kentucky, but most of the bad tape that I saw was him playing in man. So I like him in a more zone scheme, but I do think he very well could get overdrafted. That's another thing that scares me. Anytime I start seeing other people that have guys 40, 50 slots ahead of me, because I've seen Andrew Phillips all the way in the 40s, that makes me nervous. You're going to go too high, the expectation's going to be too high, and the next thing you know, we're going to be talking about you as a draft bust 3 years from now when Tank does his little list again.
Well, he put up quite the numbers at the combine. 4.4, 8.40, 42-inch vertical, 11.3 in the broad jump. Andrew Phillips, cornerback out of Kentucky, hailing from Malden, South Carolina.
I knew he was from somewhere reasonably close to us, but I didn't know exactly where it was.
Yep, upstate South Carolina kid. Hey, maybe he'll end up with the Carolina Panthers. They could use another corner.
They could.
My team could though as well. So I'm intrigued by a cover corner. Next up after Andrew Phillips,
it's a guy that I know you like, and I'm not sure that I didn't set you on fire with him.
Yeah,
Muhammad Kamara.
You did. Okay, I'll give you credit to this point. We were sitting in the stadium at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis for the Combine, and he was shown up on the big board, and you went, hey, you need to watch this kid. And then from there, he kind of did the speaking for himself.
Yes.
Because he put on quite the show.
4.57 40.
Ran through the drills real well. And then when I went back and watched some tape and some highlights on him, that to me that's a if my team can get an offensive lineman in the first round, I'll wait till the third round and hopefully make a deal to get Muhammad Kamara, because he's a kid that looks to me like he can be one of the underrated prospects of the draft.
Well, it just depends on what you're looking for. If you need somebody that can play three down and really be solid against the run, I don't know that he'll ever be that. But he's going to get after quarterbacks.
Well, how long are we going to – I mean, it seems like the defensive trend in the NFL now is I just want 8 pass rushers. I mean, everybody's taking that page out of, the Jets playbook. All I need is 8 good pass rushers, and then my coaches will figure out what downs they need to play on. So I think everybody's doing that now, or everybody's at least trending to that. So I don't necessarily need a 3-down guy.
No, you don't. We're getting very, especially defensively, we're getting very situational.
Yes.
So you look at pass rushers, you look at corners, you look at wide receivers, that situational role. People hear that because they've been doing the draft as long as I have, and that's such a knock. It's really not.
All right, after Muhammad Kamara.
So that would put us at number 96. Dwayne Carter, defensive tackle out of Duke. I look. You like him. You were actually the one that really – I'm not going to say you changed my opinion on him, but you got me to look at him again.
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily think he had the high-level upside. I knew the tape was good. I knew he was good. I just didn't necessarily think that he was a potential star. In the third round, I want a guy that has the ability to make that star turn. I didn't necessarily see that. You did. So tell me what you saw, and then I'll give you the breakdown.
I mean, I see he's a nasty player. And by that, I mean, I look at the tape on him, and I'm not watching every play, but every play I've seen, he's, as you like to say, Jeremy, he got that dog in him.
He does.
And he's got some good moves, and he's got some good length. And, he's not going to come in right away and be a superstar rookie. Defensive Rookie of the Year.
No.
But in 3 or 4 years, would I be surprised to, see this guy get a decent second contract from a team? Absolutely not.
One of my favorite fits in this draft is the 3-tech of Dwayne Carter with Cincinnati Bengals. I absolutely love the thought of him winding up there. Now, what I will say is you didn't get a lot of sacks out of him, and he was not the best tackler you've ever seen. There were a lot of times that he did everything right until he did the last thing wrong, and then it makes the play a total breakdown. So I'm in very much like with Dwayne Carter. I'm not in love.
Mm-hmm. All right, a Dookie coming in at 96.
Correct.
95?
DJ James, cornerback out of Auburn. Nothing in all of my film breakdown of this year has confused me more than how did Auburn have all of these defensive players and they couldn't stop anybody? They are going to have 4 secondary players.
Yes.
4. This is the same team that gave up, 4th and 26 against Alabama?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't get it because I love all 4 of them.
Well, we know I mean, usually when that happens, it all comes down to scheme. It all comes down to coaching. And maybe with the with the new coaching staff there, maybe they didn't have the right kind of guys to fit the scheme or whatever.
Hugh
it's
Freeze
the only explanation I can ever come up with when you see a defense that's this talented, yet they were terrible.
Hugh Freeze thinks defense is optional. So, and look, I get it. I don't like it, but I get it. The knock on DJ James is that he weighed 175 at the combine. I think he played about 160.
Mm-hmm.
You remember my breakdown on Cordell Flott?
Oh, yeah. Boy needs to eat a sandwich.
Bad.
Yeah.
He doesn't just need – DJ James doesn't just need to eat a sandwich. He needs to come here to Detroit, get some of that Buddy's pizza, and eat it nonstop for about the next 4 months.
That'll do it.
He would feel
super fat eating
no
Buddy's
doubt.
pizza.
And I would be super happy to.
I was going to say, at this point, I think I could eat that for every meal for the rest of my life and not be too disappointed.
That may be where I spend part of the –
my heart won't make it much longer, but we make sacrifices, right?
You're not wrong.
That's why I got my trusty pills, my nitro pills.
Yes.
Nothing.
Not the crumbs.
Nothing nefarious. All right, it is that time. We're going to take a break here in the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We're chopping it up on the eve of the 2024 NFL Draft at ESPN Draft Nerd. Jeremy Greene's Top 100 continues after the break.
This is your Exergen Temporal.
You're clear?
All right, all good this time?
ESPN Asheville.
Yep, nothing cut out.
All right, cool.
Get better now as we continue to get into the afternoon. The clouds will give way to sunshine. If there's a shower left over early, so be it. Most of us later, upper 60s and dry. Tonight, 40 and clear, 30s in some of the nooks and crannies. So a chilly start to our Thursday, but a beauty of a finish. Lots of sunshine, 72. By Friday, clouds will thicken up, maybe a little rain in the afternoon. High 63. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by UPM Raflatac. Dreaming of a career with solid benefits and a secure future? Join the UPM Raflatac team. Production, floor, and office positions are available in Mills River and Fletcher. Apply today at rafjob.com. That's RAFJOB.com. UPM Raflatac. Feel good about where you work.
GiveMeTheVin.com is paying top dollar for your car, truck, sports car, exotic. I told my buyers, let's get them bought. Right now is the time to go.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
The roof is the most important part of the home, and this month ESPN Asheville and Balkan Roofing are giving one away free of charge. Through April, go to ESPNAVL.com and click on the Balkan Roofing's Roofing for a Reason. Follow the link to nominate a homeowner in need of a new roof and why they should be our winner. At the end of the month, one iHeart Asheville winner will be selected. Make your nominations again at ESPNAVL.com. Roofing for a Reason with Balkan Roofing.
QC Kinetics announces the arrival of National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, an acclaimed orthopedic surgeon with 2 decades of experience and extensive research in regenerative medicine.
But I was one of the first orthopedic surgeons to do it, and at the same time I integrated clinical research that's resulted in several publications that are really directing the future of regenerative medicine. I was drawn to QC Kinetics after I reviewed their protocols, and everything they were doing is consistent with my own approach.
Today, Dr. Scheinkup leads the entire team of medical professionals at QC Kinetics, taking this exciting medical breakthrough to a whole new level.
What we are doing at QC Kinetics is transforming lives.
Get lasting joint pain relief. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
This is the future of medicine.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517. If cleanliness is next
minute till we're back.
Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man.
It is NFL draft time. Well, almost NFL draft time. It's Draftmas Eve, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, Draftmas tree, old Draftmas tree.
Drafty Claus will come tonight, although you have to wait until tomorrow evening to find out what your presents are. But Drafty Claus is on his way. Drafty Claus is coming to town.
Here comes Drafty Claus. Here comes Drafty Claus right down Drafty Lane.
2024 NFL Draft. We got the live coverage for you on the YouTubes during the draft, so don't forget that. Go to sportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. Not only does that get you into the chat with us, but it also lets you know when we go live, and we'll be live for the first two nights of the draft on the YouTube from Radio Row.
Yes. I told Tank when we got here, this is way less of a social experience than the other trips that we've made this year. A ton of content, and then it stops.
Yes.
And you know, I feel like the draft is a lot like Christmas in that way. You got all the build-up, you got all the shopping, you got all the carols, you got all the things, and then the next thing you know, you turn around and it's gone.
Yep.
And it's over.
Yep. But you have all of your new toys to play with.
That's correct.
The problem is none of them get batteries until, 3 months later.
Yeah,
after the off-season. You have to just look at it for a while and go, I bet that's going to be fun to play with.
I want to play with that so bad. Why can I not play with it?
We're doing Flostradamus's top 100 today on the program, going up from 94 was where we left off. Cornerback Jarvis Brownlee Jr. out of Louisville.
And this is a kid that I was really disappointed in because he started at Florida State. Then he went to Louisville. I was still kind of disappointed in him when I watched him on film. Then he came to the Senior Bowl, and all of a sudden I wasn't so disappointed anymore. I don't know that he has ever been in a scheme that he really fits in. Look, he is short. He's a shorter guy. He's not crazy fast. He's not crazy athletic, but damn is he sticky in coverage. And every receiver I saw him go up against in Mobile struggled with him in some shape, form, or fashion. Mm-hmm. I think this kid could go in the second round.
That's pretty high.
I think he could go in the second round.
Number 93, Jalen Wright, the running back out of Tennessee. He had a lot of hype.
Yeah, because he's real fast. He is super fast. And look, the last time we saw a third-round-ish type running back out of Tennessee, it was Alvin Kamara. Do I think Jalen Wright's going to be that, even though I've heard that comparison? No, I don't. I think he's going to be a nice part of a committee. There is no running back in this class outside of Jonathan Brooks and Trey Benson that I believe can be a bell cow in this league, and Jalen Wright's no different. I feel like we started treating him like he was, but the tape doesn't manifest that, and there's really not a lot there that tells me he can be one of those guys.
Yeah. He's clearly got the speed, but the question is, does he have the other stuff? Does he have the vision? Does he have the elusiveness?
He's a really good runner.
Okay.
He does not have any of those other things that you said.
Okay.
So, I mean, in terms of turning around, handing him the football, he can do some special things. That's about it, and I I don't love a lot of what I saw from him on tape, but the raw is really good.
Number 92, tight end out of Penn State, Theo Johnson.
He's an RAS monster. I'll give him that. He checks all the boxes from physical talent. I shouldn't have said physical talent. From athletic talent. He's got every bit of that. The question is, can he play football? And I don't know the answer to that. I hate this tight end class. I've already told you that. He doesn't have great hands. He is super raw. But I've seen guys like this. Darren Waller was a guy like this. I could see him turn into something 2 or 3 years down the line. The problem is that we started talking about taking him in the second round. You're not going to give him the time to figure it out. Then you're going to bring him in here. He's going to have stone hands. He can't block anybody. And he's not a great route runner. He's a raw ball of clay. A ball of clay that's real big and real fast because he is 6'6". Not that big.
For a reason. Follow the link to nominate a
And that is a
homeowner in
problem.
need of a new roof and why they should be our winner. At the end of the month, one iHeart Asheville winner will be selected. Make your nominations again at ESPN AVL with Balkan Roofing.
I can hear
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at Clarissa Sells WNC.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Did I mention
Yeah,
that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much. We're
Can you
giving
hear
back
us?
25.
All right, after this ad.
Okay.
What is that, a power surge?
Contact
What
us
is it?
today
Because it's
at
shutting everything down.
828-774-6343
It's not doing anything to my computer, so.
or
Hey, keep us on
clarissasellswnc
commercial for like 2
at
breaks. I'm going to
gmail.com.
move where this is plugged in.
You're back?
Oh, you're in the Sportsocracy. We're back on ESPN Asheville.
We figured out the issue. It's going to take us a few minutes to fix it. We're having power surges.
Gotcha.
So
All right,
apparently,
so the power surge is the problem.
you said that the power in this was an issue. You sleep out here. I don't. I'm in the back.
I don't know. It was just a guess on that.
That is 100% what our problem is.
Yes. Okay. All right. So it is a power surge. It's not.
It's the only thing makes that, or there's a ghost. We may actually have a ghost.
All right. So we're going to work on the problem here, but let's buzz through here while we're connected and continue on with the top 100.
And we were on Renardo Green.
Renardo Green.
Look,
91.
not everybody thinks he's a safety. There are teams that believe he's going to play corner in the NFL because he is small. I think his best position is safety. I'm just afraid that we're worrying about the body type and not worrying about the player.
At number 90, edge rusher. You love this guy.
I
Out of
do.
Troy, Javon Solomon.
I love Javon Solomon. I almost love him as though he's one of my own children. I think he has the ability to be a true high-end, high-level pass rusher in this league. He is super small, and I feel really sure he's never going to hold up against the run, ever. He will never be a plus run defender. But, man, if you can get that pass rush out of him, that might be enough.
Number 89, quarterback out of Oregon, Bo Nix.
What do you want me to say?
Yeah.
I mean,
he's a career backup in the NFL. to
Your
me.
desire to have quarterbacks is clouding 4 years of tape.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to the Auburn times. Oh, but he really improved in Oregon. Did he, or did he stop playing high-level defenses? Because to me, that makes way more sense.
Or he got into, maybe better offense for his game up in Oregon. He did put up the stats at Oregon, and he has been through many playbooks. I hear that all the time about Bo Nix. Oh, well, his depth of knowledge about so many different schemes since he's worked through 4 playbooks in his 6 years in college.
Awesome. 2 of them have absolutely nothing to do with anything you'll ever see in the NFL.
Yeah, I just don't know that that's a great excuse. To me, he could be a fine backup forever. But I don't know that he can be anything better than that.
Colt McCoy.
Yeah,
that's
starter,
what he is.
Spot starter for injuries. Other than that, who knows? Now, Number 88 on your list is Junior Colson, the linebacker out of Michigan, and I think he's now one of my new pound the table guys.
Okay, explain that to me.
I was watching a lot of his film last night, and it's just one of those things. He looks like that guy who's just got the nose for the ball. He's strong. He fights through defenders well. He looks like he's got a lot of the great tools that you would want in a linebacker.
Is he a good pass rusher? No. The answer is no.
He can blitz.
He can blitz. He's not great at it. Is he great in coverage?
Not necessarily.
No. Is he really big? Is he really strong?
Well, for his size, I would say he is.
There you go.
Is that the
For
problem?
his size.
Is that the problem? He's
he's
short?
6'2", 230. So, look, I get why people like him. I do not understand that there's top 50 hype. And to me, that is insanity. There's just, I have never at any point looked at the player and gone, that is a top 50 in this draft player. You get him in the back end of the third round, okay. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I'm perfectly fine with that.
So size is going to be the biggest issue for him, you think?
I just don't think he's great at anything. He's a really good tackler. Outside of that, I don't know that he has the skills. I mean, people talked about, I've heard people talk about how he's really good in coverage. It's kind of hard to not be when you're 2 touchdowns ahead of everybody. I don't have to worry about you running. Go back and watch the tape when games are in doubt. Watch the first quarter against Maryland. I promise you, if you love him, you won't love him as soon as you watch that.
Really? Okay.
Game's in doubt. Eye discipline gets off. If I'm down, if I'm up 2 touchdowns, it's real easy for me to figure out that you're probably going to pass quite a bit.
All right, Junior Colson at 88. Kyrie Jackson, cornerback out of Oregon.
God, if you like big corners, he is. I like big corners, and I cannot lie. And he is one of my – he's just really, really raw. You're going to hear that word with a lot of guys that come in down here because they have high-end upside. They also have super bust potential. And Kyrie Jackson has that. But, man, if you hit it, I'll go this far. He could be Richard Sherman good.
Wow.
And I really do believe that.
All right, tell me about Dominic Pooney, guard out of Kansas.
He had a great week at the Senior Bowl that put him on everybody's radar, and he made it really well known, I can play every position, and I'm willing to. He is that utility knife offensive lineman that can play at tackle, he can play at guard. Somebody's going to get a tremendous value in him because I think he lost some of the momentum. So now I'm seeing him more in this range and sometimes even later because they went back to the tape. And the tape does not scream he was that guy. But when the lights were on the brightest, he played the best. And I think there is something to that.
Number 85, running back out of Florida State, Trey Benson.
His best pass catcher in this draft class, not even close, in terms of running backs. And game breaker speed, absolute home run hitter. I think he and Jonathan Brooks both have the chance to be the head of the snake in a 2-person committee. That's as close as you're going to get to bell count now. You're just Bijan Robinson, maybe the last one of those we ever see. That's pretty high praise for Trey Benson. He started Oregon, horrible injury, didn't have a whole lot that made you feel warm and fuzzy. Then he went to Florida State, and you went, there it is. There's the guy we were told this was.
2-time national championship safety out of Georgia, Javon Bullard at number 84.
You're the Georgia guy, so sell me on Javon Bullard.
Javon Bullard, he will punch you in the face. I don't know about coverage and all of that. I mean, he's physical. He's aggressive. And if you like that, then you're going to like him. But when he comes up in run support, you're going to feel it.
And what you just said is the exact opposite of how I would interpret Javon Bullard.
Really?
I don't think he can defend the run at the next level.
Really?
I think he's good in coverage.
Uh-huh.
I think he'll be just fine in coverage.
Wow. He didn't have any problem stepping up.
Of course he didn't. He had 10
he
had 10 future NFL starters around him. Against Spencer Rattler, against Vanderbilt. Of course he didn't. Watch when it was on him. Isolate the player. That'll tell you what they are. The number one thing that leads to busts is exactly what you just did. And I've now done that to you twice. I love having a partner that does recreational crimes because I can run the same gambit on him and he forgets I ran it on him one time before.
I don't understand what you're talking about.
Okay, so let's see. Let me try to make an analogy here. If you're in traffic going 85 and you're weaving in and out of traffic and you're the guy in the middle, Does it mean you're a good driver that you're weaving in and out of traffic, or are you just in between 10 cars?
I mean, if you're doing it successfully, you could be good.
Could be. Or you could be hidden that there's a car pushing you to the left, there's a car pushing you to the right. Real easy to hide when you're in a pack.
Mm-hmm.
When you isolate him into he's the guy coming down in the box, and he has to make the play, some of the biggest run plays that Georgia gave up all year long. This is where bust. What you just said about Javon Bullard, this is where bust come to happen. Because I keep hearing people say what you just said. Tape doesn't lend that. Tape lends that he can finish off a play when those front seven really open things up for him. But when I put the onus on you and I run right at you and I get through that first level, it doesn't end well very often. I don't like him as much as some other people do. I really wish I could combine him and my player at 83. I couldn't separate them because they're the exact same guy.
And that's Kalen Bullock out of USC.
Kalen Bullock's the exact opposite. He can come up against the run. He couldn't cover me. If I could blend these two players together, I have Troy Polamalu. Instead, I have half of –
right.
And look, there's usable to that. If you've got the box safety and I've got a really good single high over-the-top safety, I'm in great shape. If I've got the guy that can drop single high, I need a thumper next to him. It just depends on where you go. The thing that scares me about these two players, I feel like the NFL has them backwards. Because I look at their visits and go, Are you sure you invited the right one? Because I don't think you did.
Number 82, offensive tackle out of Texas, Christian Jones.
He's lost some momentum too, but I do think he has high-end right tackle upside. He was really good through the pre-draft process. It just feels like in the last 3 weeks he's lost a lot of momentum, and now I hear people talking about him in about this space. I think he might even be higher than this, but he may have peaked. You may be getting the player you're getting.
Flostradamus' top 100 here in the Sportsocracy. A couple of more before the top of the hour break. We'll have to draw this out at 80 here. At number 81, though, Rook Arorutro. That is actually how they phonetically pronounce it in the media guide. Arorutro.
Arorutro. I'll never call him anything other than that.
Rook Arorutro.
He's Scooby-Doo.
Ruh-roh. And for those of you who may not be familiar, we have called him Rook or Horo for a good 2 months.
That's because that's the only one. That's how it's spelled. Spell your name right.
Arorutro.
His name should be Rook Scooby-Doo. Ruh-roh.
All right, so where does he fall in as a prospect?
I mean, I think he's got there's some upside. He's a usable piece right away, but he is raw. And it always bothers me when guys that have played as much as he have are this raw. The good is really good, but then there's an inconsistent place where you forget he's on the field.
All right, and the final one of the hour here at number 80, another national champion from the Georgia Bulldogs, Kamari Lassiter.
It's too slow. In terms of ability to cover and skill set and things like that, you're a great player.
He doesn't have breakneck speed.
No, he's slow. I mean, he ran in the 4.6s.
He does all of the things, I feel like. He does all of the things pretty well. He covers well. His hands are good. He can hit. He can tackle. He can do all of the things. But, yeah, I mean, a couple of years ago, remember I kept pointing out, I don't know if we're really going to beat Florida senseless because that secondary is not great. It's because the secondary was fine if they can keep you in front of them. You get him past Kamari Lassiter, and he couldn't chase him down.
Exactly.
And that was a problem.
He will see the Tyreek Hills of the NFL, and it will have a steady pool of diarrhea in his pants. Uh-oh. I better just annihilate him off the jump, or I am going to be watching him dancing in the end zone, and there is nothing I can do to stop it.
Yes.
Now, that being said, there have been corners like that over the years that have worked out. And look, there have been good corners in this league that weren't super, super fast. They were so good technically that they could make it work. He could be one of those guys. I don't think he is.
He got a lot of work to do to get there, though.
I think the technical on him is good. I don't think it's good enough to mitigate all of that. But you put him on a team with a really good pass rush, okay, I can play you off a little bit. That does take away something he does well, which is get up in your face. And I can't personally look at a corner that runs that slowly. and plan on playing you much in press man.
All right, when we come back from the break here, top of the hour, the Mullet 100. This is what we need to call this, by the way. The Mullet 100.
I'm down.
Top prospects of the 2024 NFL Draft will continue here in the Sportsocracy live from Detroit, Michigan.
What's that sound? That's the sound of...
All right, so we're going to the long break now, right?
Yep. Yes.
And giving your clothes.
Okay, and then also at the top of the hour, there's another run macro for ESPN.
Yeah.
Music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible.
Okay, and then I'm going to put it
for the
into
1 o'clock hour, too.
Bottle shake.
I'm going to put it into auto, and then there's somebody here for Merle Fest tickets.
Yeah,
so
go grab it. You got time.
Oh, to protect.
Promise to do better, to be better every day. We can't wait to meet you and help you find the right vehicle for you. Stop in and shop
all the time.
ParksFordHendersonville.com.
Get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned plus a free hallway from Zero Res for only $109. Offer ends this week, so schedule your appointment now at ZeroResAsheville.com. Don't miss out. 3 rooms of carpet cleaned for just $109. Zero Res. It's the right way to clean.
This election year, there are so many issues that divide us.
Which candidate will wind up with the task of trying to unite us?
Join us as the future unfolds on News Radio 570 WWNC.
Western North Carolina's election station.
At Ingalls, we're proud to work with hundreds of local farms and businesses in the communities we call home. Not only does it ensure that you get top quality, fresh items for your family table, it's a way for us to support the amazing individuals who pour their heart and soul into delivering the very best they can do. Quality, freshness, community, it's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
I'd look at better now as we continue to get into the afternoon. The clouds will give way to sunshine. If there's a shower left over early, so be it. Most of us later, upper 60s and dry. Tonight, 40 and clear 30s in some of the nooks and crannies, so a chilly start to our Thursday, but a beauty of a finish. Lots of sunshine, 72. By Friday, clouds will thicken up, maybe a little rain in the afternoon. High 63. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by UPM Raffletech. Dreaming of a career with solid benefits and a secure future? Join the UPM Raffletech team. Production, floor, and office positions are available in Mills River and Fletcher. Apply today at raffjob.com. That's RAFJOB.com. UPM Raffletech. Feel good about where you work.
Brakes for less. If you have the squeal, we have the deal. Get all 4 brakes for $239. Located in Asheville, call 888-261-STOP for an appointment or just walk in.
The key to any successful business is maximizing your reach. That's where the power of radio can help you get more customers in your doors and telling all of their friends about our friends. Hello, friends. Get you.
And I'm back.
This is through ESPN Asheville, the Sportsocracy, and iHeartMedia Asheville. Learn how all of our great partners like Ingalls Markets, DraftKings Sportsbook, and Monster Brewing, to name a few, use us to continue to build.
And we're back in a minute.
Email me, Tank Spencer at iHeartMedia.com.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, Bills. That's Bills. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
And we are live in downtown Detroit, Michigan, having the cultural experience of a lifetime here at the D for the 2024.
The D.
There you go, for the 2024 NFL Draft. We are coming to you live from just a stone's throw away from the Canadian border.
I can see Canada from our house.
Yes, you can. Welcome, everybody, into the program. If you're just joining us today, we're setting the stage for tomorrow night's NFL Draft with the final ranking, the top 100 of at ESPN Draft Nerd. Flostradamus, Jeremy Greene, dreams will come true tomorrow night.
This is indeed
the first round, but we're not to the first round. Anywhere close to first round prospects.
No, this is where wings take dream, but we do have breaking news.
Oh.
And
hey, back in the studio, just hit F9 there, brother.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break
that's a long distance breaking news.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
Yeah, a little Detroit dancing for today. Breaking news out of the NFL.
Amon-Ra St. Brown has agreed to an extension with the Detroit Lions.
Nice. Oh, let's play the fun game.
Would you like to play the fun game of how much for?
Yes. Let's go 5-year deal?
4-year.
4-year deal. And he got $86 million.
Higher.
94.
Higher.
102.
Higher.
105.
Higher.
112.
Higher.
150.
120.
Oh, my God.
4-year, 120. Now let's play the fun game. How much of it's guaranteed, Tank?
It's, $30 million a year for
$30 million a year for Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Jesus freak.
This officially makes him the greatest call I have ever had.
No doubt.
But no doubt.
Guaranteed money is 85.
77.
Ooh.
The most guaranteed money for a wide receiver in a single contract in NFL history.
Well, he is, man, I want to say he's worth it, and I don't know that he is. Is he worth $30 million a year?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, to me, he is.
I don't know.
How many receivers in the NFL would you take over him right now, and why is that list Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, and end?
End?
Yeah.
Okay. No A.J. Brown, no. That's about the closest.
I like A.J. Brown. I do. I like him a lot. I don't like him that much.
Mike Evans, I'll take him.
Danny Fence fan said, Tank dancing in the D.
In the D.
Everything we'd say has to end with in the D.
Number 79 on Flostradamus's top 100, the Mullet 100. You don't like that. You don't seem to like that
That's
as much
fine.
as I thought you were going to.
It's fine.
Okay. Number 79.
Aeneas Smith.
Aeneas Smith.
With the ball in his hand, he might be the best player in this class. I mean, he is special in space. The only problem is he is one of maybe 4 prospects in this entire class that are shorter than you are.
Mm-hmm.
He is just a little feller.
He
ain't no bigger than a squirrel. Yeah, he's 5'8". He measured 5'8". I think he may have had lifts in his shoes like Mickey from Seinfeld, but yeah, he's special. And look, he's going to be a phenomenal punt returner at the next level. I mean, I'm talking a legit weapon. Our buddy Trevor Sikkema thinks he's worth a first-round pick.
What? Wow.
Now, he said that's not going to happen and I don't have to take him there, but he has that kind of talent with the ball in his hands.
78. Edge rusher out of Kansas, Austin Booker.
He is one of the most popular players in the draft. I mean, he is the guy everybody wants to have beers with. And I'm not 100% sure I understand why. He's good. I just don't – I don't know. I never looked at him and went, that's a guy I'm going to build my defense around. I mean, because he's another one that I've heard talked about in the top 50, and he never struck me that way. He's not that guy. Mm-hmm. I thought when he ran slower at the combine that would be the end of it, and it really wasn't. Now, he is a guy that can do everything because he can hold up against the run, and he could be a three-down outside linebacker if that's where you feel he plays, or end in a four-man front. He's really good. I just don't think he's great at anything.
Okay, running back out of Texas at number 77, this is Jonathan Brooks coming off the ACL.
If he goes anywhere but the Dallas Cowboys, I'll be shocked. Mm-hmm. And I think it's in the second round.
Yep. Heard who was that we were watching yesterday? Chris Sims was talking about this, and
I love watching Chris Sims do a mock draft. I'm going to say this thing's not going to make any sense, but
Brock Bowers is a top 10 prospect. However, he's going 15 in
Brock Bowers is a top 10 prospect. That's why I have him here at number 15 because 10's smaller than 15. 10's smaller than 15. That worked. That math.
But he does know some things, and the repair on the ACL was actually done by the Dallas team doctor.
Yes,
there in Texas. So
Jonathan Brooks was the best running back in this draft class. It's not all that close. The knee injury brought Trey Benson into it.
Yep. He would be a great replacement for Tony Pollard there in Dallas. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. comes in at 76, linebacker out of Clemson.
The hate on him makes me laugh. Because he reminds me, and I know this is lazy because they have the same first name, but he kind of reminds me of Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And when I went back and I looked at my individual prospect profiles on each one, they read really similarly.
Uh-huh.
Can I tell you he's ever going to be a three-down linebacker? No, I can't. JOK is. I mean, he's not asked to do that all that often, but he's going to hold up against the pass. I wish he was a little bit faster. And I wish he was a little bit bigger. Mm-hmm. But he's not. Obviously got a great pedigree. His dad was Jeremiah Trotter of the Philadelphia Eagles. And I really feel like that as a pass rusher and in pass coverage, he will be good enough. So second and third down, I'm getting a dog. Mm-hmm. It's that first down element of this that I don't love.
So you wish that he was taller. You wish that he was a baller.
Well, I wish that he was taller. He is a baller. I just don't know if he's a shot caller.
There you
and
go.
That's the issue I have with Jeremiah Trotter.
Shout out to Skilo, by the way. Number 75, offensive tackle out of Yale.
Kyron Ambigagi.
That's not how you say his name, and I didn't pull up the pronunciation guide to correct you. That was one that I looked at a minute ago, and I went, that's not how you say that.
There's a kid out of Alabama. I can't wait for you to. I know you didn't go that deep because you kind of swoop into the draft coverage about the Senior Bowl time.
Yes.
So you weren't around when we were talking about him. I'm going to put you on the spot and go, pronounce his name. And you're going to go, Iggy boy. And I'm looking forward to it because that's not even close.
Tell us about Amagagi.
Kyron is a guy that I look at and I would be banging the table for. Straight up. I think he can play left tackle. It's going to take some time because he did play at Yale, so level of competition is going to be a huge jump when he gets to the NFL. But, man, the technique's good. Mm-hmm. I like everything about him. He was a guy that I went down a rabbit hole, and I did this last year with Andrea Iashivas. For whatever reason, when I find an Ivy League player that can play in the league, I get drunk watching their tape, both literally and figuratively. Sometimes I'll just sit down with a bottle of Fireball and watch Ivy League All-22 tape. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Karan Amagagi.
Kyron Amagagi. That's what I said. Yeah, you said the same thing I did.
Karan Amagagi.
Kyron Emigagi.
Yep.
You said the same thing I did.
Yep. Out of Yale.
By the way, that accent is why the girl at the desk when we checked in here went, "Can you talk more?" Yes.
She did.
Yes, honey, I can.
She did.
I will indeed do that. If you'll just tell me where to find really, really quality pizza. And she did.
And she did. Number 74, Ben Sinnott, tight end of Kansas State.
Ben Sinnott is one of those players that I wish I could buy him for what he's worth and sell him for what he thinks he's worth. Or what other people seems to think he's worth. Yes, I understand that he has all of the things that you could ever want. And, he can do this and that, blah, 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 blah. And he's got the RAS, and look at how fast he ran it. Can you play football, yes or no? And I think he's fine. I'd put him ahead of Theo Johnson. I'm not putting him ahead of Jatavian Sanders. And he's so far away from Brock Bowers that it's comical. The best example I can give you of Ben Sinnott is, have you ever had one of those nights where you went out with the boys and you were sad? This is obviously before you met Andy. And you went, I'm going to hook up tonight. It's happening. It's just, I'm calling my shot, Babe Ruth style.
It was generally the thought every night.
100%. It was always the goal.
Way, but.
There was just no way. And then 1:30 rolls around and you just start looking around going, it's like everybody's dance card's filled up. Mm-hmm. And I'm still sitting here with my hat in my hand.
Mm-hmm. That's how I ended up in one of my longest relationships.
There you go.
As a 20-year-old.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was a Virgo when I met my wife, so I don't know of these things that you discuss.
That's what a lie sounds like.
I just feel like Ben Sinnott, the tight end class is so bad that we look around and just go, hey, you're good and you can do all the things. You don't do any of them great, but you can do them all. How about you go to my team?
So he's like, what, Cameron Brate?
Could be. That's actually not he's slightly more athletic Cameron Brate.
There you go.
I think that's actually. Did Tank just do a player comp that didn't make me want to run my head through the window? Let's go. Detroit Tank is great.
All right, let's see if we can steer that off the roadway and disappoint him once again. Wide receiver out of Washington at number 73, Jalen McMillan.
I wanted him higher. I really did. I want him higher. Injuries is what got him. If you go back to 2 years ago, you would have had him over Roma Dunze. The problem is that he got hurt and he kind of stagnated. Roma Dunze turned into what he is, and then Jalen Polk came along. And the next thing you knew, Jalen McMillan was kind of the afterthought. And you were lumping him in with Devin Culp. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's where I'm telling you right now, I see where this is going to go. You mark my words that I said this. Watch him go to the Cincinnati Bengals to replace Tyler Boyd and become that big slot receiver that Tyler Boyd has been for the last handful of years. Perfect. I'm telling you, I love this kid. Mm-hmm. If you look at the tape from when he was healthy, he'd have been top 50 pick. He's not going to go that high. Mm-hmm. Although every team seems to want to tell you that they're interested in him, which is – I always get – my little ears perk up when I get those guys of, what about Jalen McMillan? Why are you telling me this right now? I don't know why you're all telling me this. Is it a club? Is this like your handshake for me to get in? He's been super popular in this process.
Number 72,
Max Melton.
Max Melton out of Rutgers.
He's a guy that a lot of draft nerds like me really like. Mm-hmm. Here's my problem. I don't think he's ever more than a slot guy. Now, I think he can be a high-level slot guy. He's super fast, super shifty. He's played on the outside. I've seen it, and I've seen it not always go exactly how I wanted it to go. And so you're going to go into the NFL, and everybody's Ohio State. That tells me you're a slot corner. If he goes in this range, we're good. I've heard teams talk about him in the second round and playing him on the outside, and I don't know. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Danny Fence fan, you're exactly right. I didn't even think of that.
What?
I know why I like Detroit Tank. Because Detroit Tank's high all the time.
I'm not any different here than I am at home. I am the same Tank.
I swear to you, I thought this was going to be a lie. And then you bobbed and weaved your way to truth.
Hey, never lie to your audience.
There you go. Well, there was no lie there.
No, exactly.
There's no lie there.
Let's see here. Super chat from Colin. He's just using his free 1 month until the 2-year anniversary of his membership of the House of Reprehensibles. If you're not a member, you can become one. All you got to do is go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel once you're through to YouTube, and you can also join. House
Correct.
Reprehensibles here. Therefore, still $1.99 a month.
Sure.
Yeah.
That might be it. We also have one more super chat that we missed earlier while we were having technical issues.
Okay.
It's from Curtis Davis, one of our resident Los Angeles Charger fans. He said he's excited for the Bolts to take J.C. Latham. Be prepared for another 3-part super chat tangent, railing on Ortiz like he did with Tom Telesco for not taking the tight end. He was being sarcastic. He would like Brock Bowers. And I get that. I understand why you want Brock Bowers, but it is in the stars, my friend. Curtis, one of my favorite listeners of the show. It's in the stars that Brock Bowers is in this city. I actually saw his bus earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in this city, and it is destined that he and I are going to become best friends, and we're going to do karate in the garage with the New York Jets because he is the perfect yin to my yang, because I have stereotypical tight end size in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I also have stereotypical just beautiful flowing hair, which he is lacking at.
True.
That's the 2 biggest knocks on him. I have that.
Mm-hmm.
And he has everything else, which I don't have.
I was going to say all of the physical abilities to be an absolute freak of nature
Yes.
in the NFL.
So our yin-yang symbol looks like a crescent moon because I'm just a little bit. But it still fits together.
I was going to say it probably looks more like an apostrophe.
Kind of.
And then his portion is just massive on the other side of that. Back to the top 100 here, or we'll resume with the top 100 when we come back from the break. Just noticing what time it is here. Last guy we told you about, number 72, cornerback Max Melton. As you were talking about Max, I was thinking, didn't we already do this guy like a couple of years ago? No, that was his brother, Bo.
Correct.
Bo Melton.
Yes.
They're just related. Wanted to throw that out there. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. We're heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, back live in the D for the 2024 NFL Draft after this.
I'm still going for it.
Clear. Thank
Risk
you.
from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke
Taking you may bruise a spinal injection which may cause paralysis. Right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Progressive asks, what do an escaped leopard,
We're live from the zoo where a leopard has escaped.
a growling stomach, an uneaten tuna sandwich, and a backdoor doggy door have in common?
event. Let's go! Listen to NFL podcasts on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search NFL to start listening.
1 minute left in the break.
Have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com, your one-stop custom apparel shops.
At Ingalls, we're proud to work with hundreds of local farms and businesses in the communities we call home. Not only does it ensure that you get top-quality, fresh items for your family table, it's a way for us to support the amazing individuals who pour their heart and soul into delivering the very best they can do. Quality, freshness, community, it's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Bonus bucks. No, not those. These. Win $1,000 in bonus bucks right here. Keep listening.
All right.
Enter at our website.
Brought to you by Discount Shoes.
Step into savings at Discount Shoes on Brevard Road. Find your favorite brands for the whole family at unbeatable prices. From sporty sneakers to chic sandals, we've got it all. Hurry in and walk out with a deal that'll have you stepping in style. Discount Shoes, 1255 Brevard Road, Asheville.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
And we are back live in Detroit, Michigan. The Sportsocracy on the road thanks to Ingalls Supermarkets. Low prices. Love the savings. They are the greatest partner one could ever ask for. They have made the dream come true this year for us, especially for Jeremy as a draft nerd.
The original draft nerd.
Yes, the Senior Bowl, the Scouting Combine, and tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. We will be live on Radio Row on the YouTubes for the 2024 NFL Draft. Again, thanks to all of our good friends, Melissa and the gang over at Ingalls Supermarkets. Now, let's continue with the Mullet 100. Number 71 on your list, Flostradamus, is Cooper Beebe out of Kansas State.
He reminds me, and I know this is lazy, and I rail on doing this, and then I do it all the time. He reminds me so much of Cody Whitehair that it's absolutely pathetic that he's going to come into the league. He will consistently be a top 20 guard in the league. I just don't know that he's ever going to be better than that. And I don't think there's a knock to that. I mean, you come into this league and you play at that high of a level for that long, nobody's going to complain about taking you here. But there is a possibility that he's just never better than that.
Let's go with Chris Abrams-Drain, cornerback. He comes in at number 70 out of Missouri.
He's a super high-level slot corner, but that is what he is. I don't know. He can't play on the outside. I thought he could at one time, and I had tried to convince myself that he was going to be – that he could be an outside corner. He can't. I went back, watched the tape a little further. He's going to be a slot corner, but I think he's going to be a good one. I have him just a fraction above Max Melton.
Number 69, Ladd McConkey. Mr. Sure Hands. He is the guy that finds a hole in the defense. He's not necessarily going to stretch the field. He can stretch the field, but that's not what you're going to ask him to do. He's going to be your accuracy target.
He'll be Julian Edelman.
Yep.
Hunter Renfrow. Yep. Danny Amendola. He's not real big. He's bigger than all three of the guys I just said. And he was really good at the Senior Bowl. And I can't find a player over all the years that I've been doing draft coverage that's ever played the game the way Ladd McConkey does that wound up being a first-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, and he does have some of that back end of the first-round buzz. I see him a lot. PFF loves matching him up with the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes would absolutely love to have those kind of sure hands, but you already have a guy that runs out of the slot for them.
Rashee Rice.
Yeah, so that maybe not make that much sense, although he's just a real tough kid, and he's going to be a reliable target, I think, for a long time in this league.
There's no bust in him, but I'm also not sure that there is a high enough ceiling.
Yes.
You
Not
just
for
get
a
to
first-round pick.
You just get to the first round and go, there's no super upside here.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't believe anybody would do it.
Yep. He could be a great value as a second-round pick, but hard to not be called bust territory, possibly, if he's a first-round pick.
I don't know that anybody would ever think he was a bust.
No, maybe bust wasn't the right thing to say. Maybe disappointment for the capital that you
Not
spent
exactly
on
what
him.
you wanted.
There
out
you
of a
go.
first-round
That's
pick.
the way to say it. Jaden Hicks, safety out of Washington State, is number 68 on the Mullet 100.
He's the most popular safety in this draft class, and it's trended. I didn't say he was the best.
Mm-hmm.
He's the most popular
As far as, like, visits?
Yes.
Is that what you're talking about?
I know at least 8 teams in the NFL that are really locked in on Jaden Hicks. Super good against the run.
Mm-hmm.
Really smart. He has one gigantic problem. I'm not sure he's fast enough. Now, he did at his pro day run a 4.5.
That's pretty good.
At 6'2", 210.
Mm-hmm.
But then you watch him on tape and go, you don't play that fast. You don't play in the top 25 percentile of safety speed. So that's the drawback to me. But I still think he's going to go somewhere late second round.
Yep.
I know the Jets really like him, but he ain't lasting 71.
Another Texas Longhorn at 67, tight end Jatavian Sanders.
Got great hands, big body. He's the pass-catching tight end in this class that I'm higher on seemingly than everybody else is. He's my Ben Sinnott, I guess.
Okay.
I see all the talent in him. I don't see it so much with the other guys. For me, it's Brock Bowers. Then I drop off a cliff, Jatavian Sanders, and then you got a few that are in the ballpark of him. But he's clearly my 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the idea of Washington adding him. I think he would be the perfect safety blanket for Jaden Daniel.
Mr. Tight End Whisperer, you should probably take his advice. He's not off on tight ends very often. Guard out of Boston College, Christian Mahogany at 66. You got him higher than the standard that I had earlier, where they had him at 100. So why do you like him more?
Because I think he has okay, so I'll just give you a reference point of he's got to be over Cooper Beebe for me, because I think his floor is very similar and his ceiling is exponentially higher.
Okay.
Because he could be one of those guys that you see at the end of the second round, beginning of the third, that turns into an all-pro. I think he can be that good. He does have to learn to pass block, at least improve in pass blocking. You just look at what they did at Boston College. When that turned, they started running the football at an insanely high clip.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a lot of tape of him run blocking. I don't have as much of him pass blocking. And they weren't good at it. So that could be your surroundings as well. And if that is the case, that he goes in and he's actually a better pass blocker than we think, then that's where you'll see that super high-level upside.
All right, back-to-back spots here in the top 100 of the 2024 NFL Draft. Prospects here coming from the reigning national champions at number 65, Mike Sainristil, cornerback out of Michigan.
He has so far to grow, and he's already so good. I mean, look, he hasn't played football for a tremendously long time. He's a kid from Haiti. He was a receiver, and he's just now a couple years into playing corner. He's going to be a slot guy in the NFL. I know a lot of teams really like him, and he's a ball hawk.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good sign when a guy is a ball hawk this early into his playing days. The thing that would scare me is that he is undersized. He is going to have to play out of the slot. And I don't know how much more he grows. That's where you get really risky, is that I don't know that there's much more for him to get better. But he's going to have to learn the game. Mm-hmm. It's the easiest thing to learn.
I was going to say
I shouldn't have said it that way. It's the easiest problem to fix because I've just got to pound the game into your head and get you reps.
Yes.
It can also be that you don't develop quick enough, and then we have to tap out on you because you get to the NFL and you get picked on.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen, but it could, and I'd be remiss if I didn't point it out.
I can't necessarily teach you the physical tools. I can teach you the game.
He has every physical tool you
I can teach you the
want.
game. I can teach you the scheme. I can't really teach you instincts all that much, but to a certain degree, with knowledge, I can make your instincts better. Maybe with more experience, Mike Sainristil still ends up being a really good corner in this league. Number 64, also for the Michigan Wolverines, Roman Wilson, wide receiver.
I'm in like, not love. There's the love is not there, and I know how good he was at the Senior Bowl. I just don't think he's that guy. Mm-hmm. He runs a 4.39. Have I ever felt like he was that fast? I mean, he was on the Bruce Feldman freak list, and Feldman talked about him running 4.37, 4.33. I don't see that. I see a guy that can absolutely annihilate you across the middle as a just tremendous route runner. I don't see the burner that's going to kill you deep. Mm-mm. I see a thin receiver that doesn't have the fear of going across the middle. That's a second-round pick to me. I think he's where he belongs. I may be a little low on him compared to the industry. I'm just not sure how he's going to separate because I feel like if I can get my hands on him, especially with how many injuries he's had, I'm not sure this is going to work the way you want it to.
Number 63, edge rusher out of Penn State, Adisa Isaac.
Adisa Isaac to me is the best of the height, weight, speed monsters that maybe I haven't seen the production at the level that I want it. But if I can get it out of you, then you could be an absolute dog because he does play with that consistent motor. He's really, really mobile. And I look at it. You remember how high I was on Arnold Ebiketie?
Yes.
I think they're the same player.
Oh, okay.
I think they're the same player. And Isaac actually has a little bit of a higher ceiling.
Should that be a red flag? Or have you seen some growth out of Ebiketie?
I've seen some growth out of Ebiketie.
Didn't know if that was one that you were iffy on, whether or not he was going to be a thing.
Look, that was going to be a work in progress. Mm-hmm. I told you that when he was drafted. Absolutely. He was super raw. But I think it's coming along just fine.
All right. Defensive tackle at number 62, Brandon Dorlus.
Well, you got to be careful calling him a defensive tackle because I'm not so sure that he is. He is too small to be a 4-3 D tackle. Mm-hmm. I think he's too big to be a 4-3 D end. What does that tell you? Your best fit is probably as a 3-4 D end. Mm-hmm. I see a lot of Eric Armstead in this kid, but it's Eric Armstead from Wish.
Okay.
Could he grow into that? Sure. I'm higher on Brandon Dorlus than probably anybody in the industry. Because if you hit on him, there's just not many guys that are 6'4", 285 and can move like that. But then you get into but what position do you play? And I don't know. He's very much scheme fit because he is a freak of nature. But him and Darius Robinson remind me a lot of each other. The best tape I've seen of you was when you were doing the thing I know definitively you can't do in the NFL. There aren't 285-pound edge rushers in this league. Mm-hmm. Not playing out wide in a 4-3. It just doesn't happen because you're too big. And I do run into some of that with him.
All right, final one before we take our next break.
Hold on, I should have said this. Brandon Dorlus is freakishly strong. I mean, power lifter strong.
Wow.
700-pound deadlifts.
Jeebus. Okay.
345 in the power clean. Wow. Freak strong.
Yeah. Number 61. Last one before the break. Wide receiver out of the University of North Carolina.
It's Tez Walker.
Tez Walker.
He has the potential to be a great deep threat. And I think he could be the best deep threat in this class outside of Roma Dunze. You just got to learn to catch the ball. Mm-hmm. And he does not do that well. He tracks it great and then doesn't catch it. And I don't know what to do about that. I've seen a lot of guys over the years that did that very same thing. It tends to be a problem their whole careers.
Mm-hmm. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. Time for another break. We are coming to you live from downtown Detroit, Michigan, in preparation for the 2024 NFL Draft. The Mullet 100 continues next.
This is your weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
I'd look at better now as we continue to get into the afternoon. The clouds will give way to sun. So be it. Most of us later, upper 60s and dry. Tonight, 40 and clear 30s in some of the nooks and crannies. So a chilly start to our Thursday, but a beauty of a finish. Lots of sunshine, 72. By Friday, clouds will thicken up, maybe a little rain in the afternoon. High 63. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage. Mother's Day is coming up, and Macy's Backstage has amazing deals on great gifts that Mom is going to love, all for $15 and under. Get low prices every day at Macy's Backstage. Find a store near you today at macysbackstage.com. Off price, on trend, arriving daily.
When the optimistic Billy Halpern meets a suspicious end, authorities focus on an ex-cop turned criminal, but the investigation goes nowhere for decades. Listen to the podcast Cold-Blooded as two investigators uncover a shocking motive in the pursuit of justice for Billy Halpern.
He was good looking, he was funny, everyone liked him. It's just a shame that they took him from us.
Listen to Cold-Blooded on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Cold-Blooded to start listening.
I think it's just vapor. Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
To tell you that Keno picks 20 winning numbers, we wrote a winning number of our own. Hit it, boys. You pick up to 10. Keno picks 20. It's easy to play for a whole lot of money. Winning numbers are everywhere with Keno from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds to win a prize range from 1 in 3.86 to 16.63. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Join the MB Haynes family and enjoy excellent benefits, including medical, dental, and life insurance, 401k, employee stock ownership program, holidays, and paid vacation. MB Haynes has an immediate need for HVAC commercial service techs, plumbing, and electrical technicians. If you're ready to make a career change that positively impacts your workday and your time off, go to mbhaynes.com/careers to view available positions and apply. That's mbhaynes.com/careers. MB Haynes. Quality, commitment, character.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the
1 minute left.
Agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or Clarissa.
And my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3 at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed. Available at your local retailer.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Kai?
All right, you're in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. We are live in Detroit.
I think we have a ghost in our...
It's real weird. We got like this lag in the system, so like we're used to what the music sounds like coming back. And what we're hearing right now is like a slowed version of this song, and it's tickled me and it's thrown us off.
Yeah, we will not have these issues from Radio Row. tomorrow and Friday.
Yes, we do not anticipate any issues tomorrow and Friday night, as we will be live on Radio Row for the 2024 NFL Draft. We come to you from our high-rise here in downtown Detroit with a wonderful view of Canada right out our window.
Correct.
The Mullet 100 wages on as we prepare for the NFL Draft. What players are your team going to be choosing over the next 3 days after today? Day 3 of the NFL Draft will not be here in Detroit. We'll be back for that. Jeremy will be on the YouTube stream with some new friends throughout the day on day 3. I'll be coming back into town, but for Mark Starling's wedding, so I can give you updates on that. But if at all possible, I'll make an appearance on the day 3 stream, but I'm not promising anything.
But I mean, look, by day 3, we may be legally dead.
No, this has been it's been a fun trip so far. We've done Detroit-y things. We've had the Buddy's Detroit Pizza. We've had Tim Hortons donuts and coffee. With coffee was good, donuts sucked. Sorry if you're a Tim Hortons fan or if you're a Yankee and you just Tim Hortons is awesome. Well, not in Detroit, it's not.
Tim Hortons is if Dunkin' Donuts just decided they woke up today and went, hey, what if everything we did, we just sucked at it for a day?
They sat down in a room somewhere at Tim Hortons USA, because I have been told that Tim Hortons Canada is completely separate and it's better. So Tim Hortons USA sat down in a boardroom and they went, is it possible to make a light, fluffy, styrofoam flavored donut?
What if we made a donut that just tasted like nothing?
Yeah, it doesn't matter what the dough tastes like, because we just want it to taste like the sugar in the chocolate. The sugar and the chocolate were fine. The donut itself was a culinary disappointment.
Even the chocolate wasn't great for me.
Right.
It was fine.
It was fine.
It was okay.
Absolutely fine. Yeah, absolutely fine. It is the Sportsocracy, the Mullet 100, waging on here as we get Flostradamus's top prospects in the 2024 NFL Draft. Next up on our list, one of my favorites at number 60, a defensive tackle, a BDD, Mason Smith. He's so good, he needs 2 A's in his name.
He's very talented. He's also been very hurt, and he's been very inconsistent. Mm-hmm. There are times it looks like he's a step behind everything, which he shouldn't be, because he's got everything you could possibly ever want. He also hasn't played that much. Now, you're looking at a kid, I'm trying to do quick math here. He's played just over 900 snaps in his career. Mm-hmm. He played 8 in 2022. So I think there's room to grow. He's still really young. Everybody's flavor.
It'll look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me?
But
check him out on Instagram. All that filth.
He's still a really good player.
WNC Auto Detailing does full interior.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
And they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing 455-3700. Premium care.
Testing.
Can you hear me?
Showtime
got you.
Sports and Mountain Graphics and Asheville.
We got you.
To better serve our community.
Tank and Jeremy, can you hear me?
We've got you.
At the best price.
All right, we got 20 seconds on this, and then you guys will be back.
Thank you.
Your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy. Just wanted to update you on that there. Now we're still having the blip problem here with the things. We'll sort through it. We keep going. We'll keep trudging forward here. We're talking about Braylon Trice, though, the edge rusher out of Washington at number 59.
He's not going to be everybody's flavor because I think he is somewhat scheme specific. but I think he's such a good pass rusher, got such a high motor. I don't understand why. I mean, look, we were talking about him in the first round. Mm-hmm. Nothing changed. Then all of a sudden, he was persona non grata, and we were talking about him in the third round. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Number 58, wide receiver Xavier Worthy, the fastest man alive.
Hey, he runs real fast. You know what else does? A deer. I don't want a deer playing outside receiver for me either because Xavier Worthy can't catch.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has a value as being such an unbelievably fast player. Because all right, so let me just ask you this. Jameson Williams, if he was in this draft class, with what you've seen of him from the Lions, would you take him in the first round?
No.
He's better at everything than Xavier Worthy is. Everything. Mm-hmm. There is no one thing that Xavier Worthy does better. He's fractionally faster. That's it. There's nothing else. And so that's the thing I just keep coming back to because people want me to put Xavier Worthy with the Cowboys and, all these other teams. I can't do it.
Stop Al Davising. That's what I say to everybody that says that.
If he ran a 4.35, would you feel this way about him? That's the question that I've asked every person that has talked to me about Xavier Worthy.
No, the hands are a problem.
No doubt.
It was the biggest problem.
Oh, but he broke his hand. Well, I guess he broke it 3 years ago because he's had this problem his entire career.
Exactly. It was always a promise with Xavier Worthy. He was always on these top prospect lists because I think like 2 or 3 years ago he was like number 1 in this class. He was one of the top wide receivers.
He was never ahead of Marvin Harrison Jr.
Maybe not, but he was at the top of the list is what I'm saying. Over the years, he never gave you the next step, the development piece, to be a superstar-level prospect. Number 57, another one highly touted for years. Now that we're coming into the draft, he's not a top prospect, but he comes in at number 57, cornerback out of Alabama, Kool-Aid McKinstry.
It's just he's not a first-round pick to me.
He's first round
what
in the
Nick
all-name
Saban,
team.
What Nick Saban got out of him was not a first-round pick for me. What do you think Dennis Allen's going to get out of him? I saw a Saint fan pop up in the chat. I think you're getting what you get, and I've watched too many of these guys come into the NFL and just die. Mm-hmm. When there were knocks on their game, which I have with Kool-Aid, they come into the NFL and they never get any better. I'm afraid that's where he goes. Now, if you take him in the second round, I think you get enough talent to mitigate it. But do I like him better than Enos Rakestraw? No. I don't like him that much better than Kamari Lassiter. It's just Lassiter and me in a foot race would be way closer to each other than I would want us to be.
Number 56, guard out of Washington, Roger Rosengarten. I know you don't want to say his name again, but go ahead.
I'm so tired I'm so tired of this name. Him and Troy Fautano they're just two players that I'm so tired of. Rosengarten is very safe. I think he's going to be a good right tackle in the NFL, but he's a second-round pick. Entities keep trying to force him into the first round. He's not a first-round player. He does not belong there. Troy Fautano does, especially if you're planning on playing him at guard. Mm-hmm. I think I've kind of gotten crossed up with that, and we'll talk about that when we get to Fautano later. Rosengarten can be a really good right tackle, but I can say that about 7 other guys in this class. I think he's in the mid-pack of that, but he's behind J.C. Latham. He's comfortably behind Talizi Fawaga. He's really good. I don't think he'll ever be great.
Number 55, Cam Hart out of Notre Dame.
You know how I feel about this
guy. Know. I was getting ready to say this is one of those names that I think I'm tired of hearing you say.
Yeah, I love
Go ahead,
big
pound
corners.
the table.
I love big corners. I love big corners with good hands. He's just raw. And he's another guy that started as a wide receiver. And it shows. The technical side of this, he is not completely adept at yet. Mm-hmm. When he gets that way, he's going to be just fine. And I love the idea of him playing in one of these Seattle-based defenses. You know, the San Francisco's, where big corners are. San Francisco is my favorite landing spot for him. Mm-hmm. Because I think if he winds up there, he could be a Pro Bowler 4 years from now.
I feel like this is the ad nauseum window of the top 100 here.
It is.
Because we've had Xavier Kool-Aid, Roger Rosengarten, Cam Hart, 54. is I used to be on the side of this guy, and now I've gotten so much NFL draft whiplash that I'm not even sure I want to see him get drafted. It's number 54 quarterback out of Michigan, J.J. McCarthy.
I don't get it. We've talked about him so much that I don't really feel like we need to talk about him here. He's at 54 overall for me. He could go 2.
It's
just know that it's there. It is there. That's not just smoke. There are people in the Washington front office that want him to be their quarterback. And if you want to know where that smoke is coming from, it's because Adam Pearce is literally asking any person that will take his phone calls what they think of quarterback. People in the front office, people, former GMs. He's casting a wide net. I just feel like when it all comes down to it and he has to put that card in, it's going to say Jaden Daniels.
It's like the movie Draft Day when he trades for the number 1 pick and he's going to get the quarterback. The guy's Kevin Costner's mom looks at him and says, "You got sold a hill of beans." That's what I feel about J.J. McCarthy. Everybody promises that he's going to be great, but I don't think I'm spending a top pick on that. Number 53, pound the table again for Malachi Corley.
He is as good of a slot receiver as you'll ever see. Yak monster. I know the Philadelphia guys really like him. He just played at a small school. That's what really burns him, is that he didn't go to a school that is as high-end. So I didn't get to see him against the super high-level competition. There's a possibility that he gets to the league, and that's a problem. I don't think it's going to be a problem for long. I mean, am I telling you he's going to win Rookie of the Year? No. Am I telling you he's going to be in the league for 10 years? Absolutely. And I don't see a path that he's not.
Will he be taken in the second round?
I think so.
Okay. Next up, number 52, linebacker out of Texas A&M, Edgerrin Cooper. Did I throw shade at him yesterday? Because if I did not mean to throw shade at him. I did watch some film on him last night, and, yeah, I did. Again, did not mean to throw shade. This kid looks good.
He's a DAWG dog. The tape was inconsistent. You're looking at the highest of high sides. And on the highest of high sides, he's really, really good.
And you're not getting past him.
No.
You can draw a line in the defense. You will not get past him. He has that lateral motion that is elite.
Well, and the thing about Edgerrin Cooper is he's got personality red flags that are a little scary. I feel like those have been satiated in the one-on-ones. So now I don't really see a way he's going to get past about 40 unless there are character things that are worse than I thought. I'm also a little down on off-ball linebackers in general, so that's how he wound up here. But he and Peyton Wilson are the 2 best linebackers in this class, and I'm not sure it's really all that close.
All right, number 51, Ricky Pearsall, wide receiver from Florida.
The best compliment as a lifelong Florida State guy I can give to a Florida Gator, other than he does know how to read, is I hated playing against him so much. Every time I would see him lined up on the opposite side of the field, I just knew. And Florida State knew. This past year, that was the only player on the offense. It was all they had. Still couldn't stop him.
Yeah.
Constantly open. To me, he is what he is better at everything Roman Wilson puts on tape than Roman Wilson is. He just didn't run super, super fast. And so I kind of flipped the two. I think Pearsall's a better football player. Roman Wilson's a better athlete.
All right, don't forget, guys, you can still make a lot of money out there with the DraftKings Sportsbook app. The chase for the cup is on. That means, yes, the Stanley Cup. And if you're looking to light up the lamp, nothing beats the action on DraftKings Sportsbook, one of America's top-rated sportsbook apps. They have you covered with still the same game parlays, live betting, and odds boosts. All of that still exists without football and college basketball to wager on. But we still got NBA playoffs, of course, the NHL playoffs going on, Major League Baseball as well. And all this week, North Carolina customers can place a pregame moneyline bet on the Carolina Hurricanes. They do play tomorrow night in Game 3 of their series against the New York Islanders. You place that moneyline bet before the game starts, and if they have a 2-goal lead at least at any point during the game, you win, even if they blow a giant lead like the Islanders did the other night and end up losing the game. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the code WPEK. New customers Bet $5 and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. That's code WPEK and only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. One early win per opted-in customer. Max bet limits apply. Token expires at the start of the game. See dkng.co/ice for wagering eligibility and terms. We'll take a quick break. Back with the Mullet 100 after this on ESPN Asheville.
People are talking about Summit Dental in Asheville.
Clear.
Google reviews.
Thank you.
One patient writes, I'll start by saying I really hate going to the dentist. My anxiety...
And are we doing these two together?
However, Summit Dental may be the first place that my anxiety is actually not going through the roof. The staff that works at Summit are an incredible team. They're kind, knowledgeable, and funny. I left feeling confident that we have a plan to help restore my teeth and get me on track to a better smile. Find out more about Summit Dental at AshevilleSummitDental.com or call 828-277-6868.
The key to any successful business is maximizing your reach. That's where the power of radio can help you get more customers in your doors and telling all of their friends about our friends. Hello, friends. Get your message to the masses through ESPN Asheville, the Sportsocracy, and iHeartMedia Asheville. Learn how all of our great partners like Ingles Markets, DraftKings Sportsbook, and Monster Brewing, to name a few, use us to continue to build their businesses. Just email me, Tank Spencer at iHeartMedia.com.
The future of medicine is here at QC Kinetics. QC is the nation's leader in the most exciting revolution in pain management we've seen in decades, regenerative medicine. If you are tired of achy joints, if your joint pain is keeping you from doing what you love, you need to call QC Kinetics now. Surgery, steroids, drugs, these are no longer your best options. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics is transforming lives with innovative treatments that deliver lasting results. We're talking natural biologics using your body's own power to repair and restore damaged tissue. QC Kinetics is under the leadership of National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkupp. Dr. Scheinkupp is a pioneer in this field with 20 years of clinical work, tons of research, teaching, and publishing. He wants to get you relief with a needle, not a knife. Call QC Kinetics now to learn more about some exciting options. This is a revolutionary approach that can get you long-term relief with no downtime. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. Phone 828-333-9517 in Asheville and in Greenville.
Did you know Ingles only sells USDA Choice and Prime cuts of meat? Maybe it's time to reward yourself. Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. Grass-fed, organic, you name it. Not only that, we'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. And we grind meat fresh in the store multiple times a day. It's all in the bag. That's the best meat in town for the best folks in town. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal.
Clouds will thicken up, maybe a little rain in the afternoon. High 63. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stidgick.
This report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage. Mother's Day is coming up, and Macy's Backstage has amazing deals on great gifts that mom is going to love. All for $15 and under. Get low prices every day at Macy's Backstage. Find a store near you today at macy'sbackstage.com. Off price, on trend, arriving daily.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview. And iHeart radio station.
Thomas, you with us?
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial failure.
Back in a minute.
Heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin. And over 97% of Eliquis patients did.
I don't think he could hear me until
a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, check. That's check. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is the first time a show or anything has been ever live from the D on ESPN Asheville or the iHeart Radio family of stations. Here we are live in Detroit, Michigan for the 2024 NFL Draft. Hey, there's my back on the YouTube stream.
Well,
my camera froze.
Yeah, your camera came back, and now you look like I think the world looks to you.
Oh, did it? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I see tremendous colors, and when I followed around the Grateful Dead.
Well, you know, Flostradamus, this is actually what it looked like, seeing me through the eyes of the Predator.
I don't know what
that was.
This
did you not see Predator?
No, I
with
did
Jesse
not see
the
Predator.
Body Ventura?
No, I did
and
not.
Carl Weathers and Arnold Schwarzenegger. God,
I'm convinced that the room we're in right now is possessed by some kind of external being that is really messing with.
It quite could be. Look, I went out earlier to go down to the car. Had to go make a little run to Walmart this morning for a cord that we needed, also some bath towels, which was lacking. Hey, we got 2 gentlemen staying here, and they gave us 1 bath towel. So I went to Walmart. We did a Walmart run this morning. Tried to get onto the elevator, and it wasn't ever coming. And then finally, after about 5 minutes, it showed up, and the door opened. There are 6 DPD officers in the what's the thing I'm talking about?
The elevator.
Thank you. They're in the elevator, and apparently somebody had gotten stuck on the elevator on like the 15th floor, and they had to trek up there to save them. So I don't know, maybe it's an electrical issue with the building. I have no idea, but we continue here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville.
And we discussed this in the break. We are not going to get all the way to 1 today. So
you sure?
Well, I mean, we're at 50.
We could rip through them.
Yeah, but see, that's that thing that we do when we do power rankings. If we debate 26 and 27 for 45 minutes, and then we get Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, Browns, bye. We don't want to do that.
The good ones.
We don't want to do that. So I feel like we will do an extra content later tonight.
Yeah, that'll work.
Of the top 25.
Yeah, we'll absolutely
We'll get the quarterbacks, final quarterback rankings, final running back rankings tomorrow. That will be from Radio Row. We will be on Radio Row all day. all day.
Is it open tomorrow afternoon?
Yes.
Okay.
We had to
saw that in an email.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I did not see that in an email.
It's because they didn't approve you, bro.
It's weird. I get some emails from communications office and some I don't. It's kind of strange. Anyhow,
I'm the one with the account. So
that is true.
We both filed at the same time. They looked at me, the giant vulgar leprechaun, and went, that one's fine. The lifelong radio guy, he kicked rocks.
Exactly.
Nobody will ever appropriately explain that to me.
We left off at 51, Ricky Pearsall out of Florida. Let's go with an actual winner from the SEC at number 50.
Look at you taking that was punching below your weight right there. If they understood English, they would be super mad at that.
Playing center out of the University of Georgia, Cedric Von Prawn Granger.
Yeah, I don't like do we have to add the Granger?
We don't need the hyphenated.
Not everybody does that when they put his name up there. But look, he reminds me of Ola Olawatimi from last year. I don't know why not all of you are in love with him, but I feel like you're going to regret it.
Mm-hmm.
I see so many offensive linemen in this class that I know you're going to get drafted higher than him, and I don't get it. Like Cooper Beebe.
Mm-hmm.
All right, steady Eddie. Got it. Do I think he's a better player? Really? Roger Rosengarten. Really? It's not what the tape said. Now, do I think Cedric Von Prawn's ever going to be a star? No.
He'll be a starter.
He'll be a starter.
Really
he will not be a star.
Exactly. He'll be a really quality starter.
He's
in this
missing
league.
the tur.
Hell, he might even be a Pro Bowler at some point, right? Injuries, whatever. He could be a replacement guy at some point. He does have that ceiling.
Daniel Durham asked us a question in the YouTube chat.
Yep.
I've been trying to ask my computer to do as little as possible to keep us from going back into the Predator times.
Yep.
What is the best draft philosophy overall? Best athlete available or biggest need?
Where are you?
Me?
No, I mean, where are you picking?
No, I don't care.
Really?
Nope,
Okay.
don't care. I will always take best player available. Every team, every single one that is at a lack of that has a lack of talent on the roster. I can go back to 5 decisions where you reached for a guy for your biggest need and it burned you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the problem. Reaching for need is a lot like lying. The problem with lying is not one lie. The problem is that every lie you tell turns into 20 lies because you have to keep up with things that didn't really happen. It ain't hard to remember what happened in real life because it happened in real life. It's not hard to build a roster when you just trust your scouting. Look, every team's got great scouts. The New York Jets and the Baltimore Ravens have shared scouts since Joe Douglas got hired. And when I say shared scouts, I mean guys that work for the Ravens have gone to work for Joe Douglas. There's a reason the Jets have gotten better as a drafting team since Joe Douglas showed up because he brought that philosophy with him. We take the best player on the board. Does it help if it's a need? Sure. Will I trade up to get a guy that I think is the best player available because he feels a need? Yes, I will. Mm-hmm. If I get stuck at a pick, I will take the best player on my board. And that's what they did last year with Will McDonald.
Does not matter what
Will
your depth
McDonald
chart looks like.
100%.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Give me a team that has a just blatant need. One of the teams left that has a hole that must be filled before they play another 60-minute game in the NFL.
Buffalo Bills must have a wide receiver.
I agree with you. Let's just, for argument's sake, say that A.D. Mitchell and Brian Thomas, which are the two that I'm told they're really high on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say they're gone. If you take Ladd McConkey at 28, did you fix the problem?
I mean, you addressed it, but you didn't fix it.
No, that's not what I asked you. Do you have a receiver you can count on?
Yes.
As a slot guy?
Yes.
Do you have an outside receiver that can win?
No.
You used your biggest piece of draft capital and you didn't fix the problem. You addressed it, as you said. Mm-hmm. You threw a Band-Aid on it. Mm-hmm. Well, the problem is that the Buffalo Bills wide receiver room right now, they cut their hand off with a miter saw. And Ladd McConkey is, look, I got a Band-Aid. It's got SpongeBob on it.
It's not really going to solve the problem.
Vic Shelton said Tennessee Titans left tackle.
Yep.
Okay. I'll go there. Let's play a fun game. And I'll use Chris Sims in the dumbass mock draft he just put out. They took J.C. Latham at 7. J.C. Latham a left tackle?
No.
No. So you took a guy too high that doesn't fill the need. You could put him at left tackle. That's fine. You could also put a big stuffed animal that says, beat me like a kettle drum. You got the same thing that you get out of J.C. Latham, and you didn't use the 7th pick to do it. You got to let the board come to you.
Right.
Especially in a draft like this where you got so many high-level players. I'm always the best player available guy. Don't care where you pick. Don't care if it's 1. Don't care if it's 256. Best player on the board.
Yep.
If you can't beat the table for a guy, don't draft him. Because that guy's not going to make your roster. I promise you.
I get it. My when do you draft was about first round. Like first round, I'm all with you. Best player available. Second round, best player available. When it gets to 3rd, 4th, 5th round, I'm pretty sure my scouting department has, they have the group, right? These are all of the guys that at our key positions that we need. That's when you mix in, right? I take the best player that fits what I need. That's when I start going through that. But early in the draft, I'm totally with you. Best player available, I'm taking it.
So what you just said, and I think you'll see this when the listeners see my draft board. I don't have 256 players. I have 3 and some change on the board total. I only would use a draft pick on a guy that I have a 5th round grade on or higher. 6th, 7th round, or premium undrafted free agent guys. That is, I am stuck with a pick. I am comfortable taking this guy here because I'll either save money with the bonus or whatever the reason is. I would rather sign every guy down there, all of them. And so, yes, I do have players that I would be willing to use a draft pick on. Doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that you're not forsaking a better player. I will never do that, ever. That is a disconnect that I have with mock drafts constantly. Chicago Bears, I just put out their 7-round mock draft. They have 4 picks. I had Caleb Williams at 1. I had Roma Dunze at 9. I cannot remember who the last pick was, but I had Elijah Jones with the middle pick because he fits the scheme perfectly. He's the best player on the board. Wasn't close. I had Bears fans go, but corner might be the best position we have. It is on one side. And, yeah, you've got Tyreek Stevenson that you invested draft capital in. I got it. Do you not think he'll get picked on this year? Because I promise you, he will.
No.
If he doesn't develop a year from now, you still feel set at corner? Oh, no. See, that's the problem. What if he gets hurt? Tyreek Stevenson goes down. Now what?
You need another one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So why would I bypass a guy that could turn into a starter with very limited capital? Because, and name me a position you want the Bears to take. Edge rusher.
Yes.
Okay. Which would be better? I reach for an edge rusher because they were all gone. So I reach for, I'm trying to think of the first name that would probably have been there that I really don't like. One will come to me in a minute. I reach for that guy who is worthy of a pick 50 picks later than me, but I needed one. Or I could go sign a veteran because now your team's intriguing to veterans. Your team is good. Just draft players. Draft football players. You don't get enough draft picks to start going, well, I got to have a guard. There are 500 of them. There are 500 of them. And they cost you a free agent deal. Draft picks, go get the best player available. 100 times out of 100.
Number 49 in the Flostradamus Top 100.
That was a really good question, by the way.
Yes. 2024 NFL Draft Prospects live from Detroit, Michigan. Again, thank you to Ingles Supermarkets for making the dream happen here. Low prices. Love the savings. Number 49, defensive end out of Missouri, Darius Robinson.
I keep coming back to the same problem with him. You're built like a defensive tackle, but you play best on the edge. He's a 3-4 D end. I do like him for Detroit because I know where they would play him. I just don't love him in the first round. I don't think I'm ever going to love him in the first round because I don't think there's a high upside there. But I think he could be really good.
Yep.
I don't think he'll ever play worthy of a first-round pick.
Yep. He's 49 on your board. There's a lot of chatter that they want to take him at 29 in the first round.
I'm starting to think that might be a smokescreen.
Maybe.
Anytime you hear that many people saying, well, that's the one the Lions have circled, why are you telling everybody who you're drafting? That'd be like when you're in high school. Hey, I'm going to ask Tiffany Floopy Hair to the prom. And then you tell 50 people that. Well, I mean, Tiffany Floopy Hair is going to find out that you're coming. And if she might be ready to hurt your feelings if this doesn't go your way.
But they did this last year. They did this last year with their draft picks. They were open about who they wanted. They were open about wanting Sam Laporta. They were open about wanting Jack Campbell. They were open about wanting Jahmyr Gibbs.
We just had them in the wrong order.
Right, but they took them all, they took them all out of order of what we thought they should go. But the thought coming out of that and the response from the front office was, why did you do it that way, right? Why did you take them in the order that you took them in? And they said, we don't care.
We took them in the order of the board. That's what our board justified.
The answer to the media was, I don't care. At 11, at 19, at 29 in this draft, I do not care. If the player I want is on the board, I'm going to go get him.
Exactly.
And
that's why the Lions are good.
Yeah.
And so many teams that don't do that are terrible.
But maybe other teams will look at this and go, Darius Robinson at 29, that ain't going to work. Well, let them have it. They don't. I don't know that the Detroit Lions are necessarily playing the game. We'll have to wait and see how it shakes out. Maybe they'll swing and trade down to get him in the second round. Recoup some draft capital, see what happens. Number 48.
It's big. It's big. Penix energy.
Yep,
Michael Penix Jr.
Penix.
Injury history pushes him down a little bit.
Did you read the letter?
I did.
The letter to the GMs in the Players Tribune. Great.
Can I make a sweeping declaration about Michael Penix Jr.? He is going to go closer to J.J. McCarthy than you would want him to.
He should go before him.
I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Okay. All right. I thought I was going to be on my own on that one.
Well, see, that's the thing, brother. My board's in front of you. How many spots are between J.J.
we already
McCarthy?
did J.J.
Balkan
Another
Roofing's roofing for a reason.
Not one
Follow
for the
link
rest of his
to
career.
Nominate a homeowner in need
Where
of
would
a
I
new
take him?
roof and why they should be our winner.
Oh, I
At the
would
end of the
take
month,
him.
Hello.
Yeah, I would. I would definitely take him in the first round, top 10.
Roofing
If
for a
you told
reason.
me he had no,
Best
issues,
season of the year is here.
that's where I would take him, top 10.
You're back.
And I think that's where I'm at too.
Hold on, you're not live right now.
Yeah,
You're good.
Yeah, we're good.
All right, just give it 20
We were finishing the thought for the YouTubes.
gotcha.
Ritual.
All right, we will be back to the radio side in just a second.
There's a flavor for every fan. The Beast
I guess I could unfreeze our
6%
cameras.
alcohol by volume.
Yes.
5 seconds.
21 or over. Beast Unleashed available at your local retailer.
We are back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. We had another one of those freezing things there. So back to Michael Penix Jr., who, yeah, I mean, if he never had an injury, and you told me he's never going to get an injury, this kid's play is good enough to be a top 10 quarterback.
I agree with you.
At least.
I would take,
if not higher.
If you told me he never missed a game because of an injury he's already had, I can't forecast what happens in the future. If you told me the knee was never a problem, I would comfortably take him in the top 10. Now, I have to chalk up that injury risk. I do have to chalk up the fact that he's had that knee completely replaced twice. Well, not replaced, but put back together. I do have to factor that in. But if you told me right now, J.J. McCarthy or Michael Penix turns into a star in this league, I would bet my ability to have fun for the rest of my – and the other's a complete bust. No injuries. I'd bet my ability to have fun for the rest of my life on Michael Penix.
Yep. Michael Penix with the open letter to GMs yesterday in the Players Tribune saying, I get your questions. I do have an injury history, but has my tape not shown it in the last 2,000 snaps since the last season-ending injury? And I think he's right. I think he has. He's proven that he can play in this league, and I don't know that there should be that great concern about future injuries, but it's always going to be there in the back of scouts' minds.
No doubt.
You can't stop it.
And well, I mean, you've got to have it.
Yes.
Look, if you have a guy that had 2 catastrophic knee injuries in college, you draft him in the top 15, then he comes out and blows his knee 4 weeks into his rookie year, fired.
Dumbass, yeah.
LMNO fired.
Yeah.
And our medical guys told you that was a possibility. Why would you take him that high?
Mm-hmm. And it could
if it works out, brilliant.
And it could happen tomorrow night. Every time I see a mock draft that has Michael Penix going at 15 or 13 or whatever it is to the Raiders, I never go, oh, that's stupid. Why wouldn't you? Take the risk. At number 47, Mr. Walking Penalty, Enos Rakestraw.
He's a little grabby.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a bad case of the grabby hands.
Mm-hmm.
And if it wasn't for that, he would be top 30.
Yes.
I think I would view him the way that Trevor Sikkema does if it wasn't for the fact that he's got that toddler mentality. He sees something he wants and he grabs it.
Yep.
You're coming in the league with a reputation. You're going to see a lot of little yellow hankies on the field. So, I mean, it's a problem.
Yeah, and I want him to go somewhere where he's going to get the right amount of tutelage.
I love him in Detroit.
To be able to get that
I
out.
do. I love him in Detroit. Mm-hmm. I think Aaron Glenn coaching him up, that's totally fine with me.
All right,
Aaron Glenn was a little handsy when he came out of Texas A&M. Trust me, I remember it. Mm-hmm. That was for the fledgling days of my Jet fandom when I still had hope and dreams. Then they went away. It wasn't Aaron Glenn's fault.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We are coming to you live from downtown Detroit for the 2024 NFL Draft. Thanks to Ingles Supermarkets. We'll be right back with the Mullet 100 next.
The key to any successful business is maximizing your...
You're clear.
The power of radio can help you get more customers in your doors and telling all of their friends about our friends. Hello, friends. Get your message to the masses through ESPN Asheville, the Sportsocracy, and iHeartMedia Asheville. Learn how all of our great partners like Ingles Markets, DraftKings Sportsbook, and Monster Brewing, to name a few, use us to continue to build their businesses. Just email me, Tank Spencer, at iHeartMedia.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Hey, if you're listening to me right now, I have one thing every business needs most: attention. Think about it. We swipe and scroll past stuff all day. But when we're driving, cooking, and working out, we're also listening. That's the magic of audio at iHeart. We're in your next customer's ears while they're living life and listening, just like you are right now. So get your customers to listen up today using radio, digital, and podcasts. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer. wholesaler.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or Clarissa Sells WNC.
30 seconds left.
Bengals, we're proud to work with hundreds of local farms and businesses in the communities we call home. Not only does it ensure that you get top quality fresh items for your family table, it's a way for us to support the amazing individuals who pour their heart and soul into delivering the very best they can do. Quality,
I say we just start a stream, we leave it in the hotel room, and we just let the viewers watch what we do in Detroit.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
And we are live in downtown Detroit, ready for the 2024 NFL Draft tomorrow night. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. We're going to get all dressed up. Did you got your suit and everything? Everything's pressed and hanging in the closet?
Pressed. Might be a stretch.
Yeah.
Because I brought a duffel bag instead of – I didn't want to check a bag. So for me, taking flights is kind of like – you know when you come back from the grocery store and you have like 9 bags and you want your lazy children, not just you, I was referring to myself as well, to come help you with the groceries, and they don't, and you go, I will literally throw those eggs into the driveway before I take 2 trips.
Yes.
That is how I feel about checking bags.
Okay.
I will physically die on this hill of I am not checking a bag.
Oh, yeah, he had me carrying his bag onto the plane yesterday, and I put it up in the overhead compartment, and it was about 7 inches wider. And I don't think it's going to fit.
That was top 5 funniest things I've ever seen in my life. Tank gets the bag into the overhead compartment. Now, bear in mind, I've traveled with that bag somewhere around 500 commercial flights, and he went, I don't think it's going to fit. I went, I'll bet you anything you want it will, but you're going to have to put your keister into it.
Just push it, and I crammed it.
I need you to go salt and pepper and push it real good, because that bad boy's fitting in that hole. I promise you.
So anyway, yeah, we're going to be all dressed up. We got our suits ready to go for tomorrow and the festivities of the draft. When will your favorite player come off the board? Who will your favorite team take?
I think we just had a brainstorm of we're going to set up the stream tonight when we get back. We've got a couple engagements, and we've got conies on their way. Yeah. And frankly, none of you need to see what we're going to do to these 2 chili dogs a piece, because I've been told how good the hot dogs are here. Mm-hmm. It's going to get gross.
That is another Detroit staple food. Where did we order from?
National Coney Island or something like that. That's where Christy Kowalczyk from our sales department at iHeart, her husband is from here, and they travel up here a lot. They're big Lions fans.
There you go.
Said it puts Waffle House to shame. And she said it puts Waffle House to shame, and I went, you mean I can get a Waffle House hot dog?
Waffle House has hot dogs?
No.
Oh.
No, this is a hot dog from a place like Waffle House.
Ah, okay. All right. Yeah, that threw me off as well. I was thinking, how many times have I been drunk in a Waffle House and never seen the hot dog section? Should be right there with the sandwiches, correct?
Oh, I've never eaten at a Waffle House sober, so I didn't think you could.
You can. You can.
I
you
thought
hate
they
yourself
breathalyzed you
more
at the
later,
door.
but you can eat there sober.
I thought they breathalyzed you at the door. Nope. You go have 4 in the parking lot.
At number 46 in the Flostradamus Top 100 in the lead-up to the 2024 NFL Draft here, Marshawn Nealon, Western Michigan guy.
Really strong. Great bull rush. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's first-round pick, and my ranking here would reflect that. I'm starting to think that there's a great chance that it's going to happen, and I'm not sure it's not to the team we just talked about. I'm not sure he doesn't wind up with the Detroit Lions. I mean, he steers right into exactly what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
of wanting from the player.
Yep.
Oh, and by the way, he's from Michigan. Went to Western Michigan.
Yes.
I keep looking at that going, is that the team? Are you the team that wants to keep putting this out there? You're going to take him in the first round?
Mm-hmm. At number 45, offensive tackle from Houston, Patrick Paul.
He's so raw. He's incredibly raw, but you give him 2 years, and he might be the best left tackle in this class that's not named
Joe Alt. Yeah.
Wow. I think he could be better than Olaf Shano.
It's a lot of high praise.
But you got to get the most out of him.
Mm-hmm. Number 44, defensive tackle from Michigan, Chris Jenkins. Another legacy guy.
His dad was a great Jet. He's not his dad. And yes, his dad played for the Jets.
I was just trying to think in my head, when did he play for the Jets?
With Rex Ryan.
Okay.
Panthers traded him to the Jets. He played there for 3 years.
Okay.
Oh, and I loved him. He was one of the first Jets that I ever just deep down loved. And then I met him, and I loved him more.
Yep.
Chris he's not his dad, but I think he could have a very similar career. And I'll be honest with you, the more I think about it, the harder it gets me, and the harder it gets for me to see him getting past the Chargers in the second round. You're a child. Don't be a child. Forgot a word. That was to the best of us.
I was trying. Okay.
Yeah, what's in that bag back there?
It's fine. It's fine. Chris Jenkins does certain things to you. I get it. We all fall in love with players sometimes.
Yeah.
Number 43 on the list.
I get him a little gummy bear, and now he thinks he's Don Riggles.
Cornerback out of Iowa State, TJ Tampa.
He is the scouts that I know. That's the pound the table player for them. And look, the tape last year is very intriguing because he was, I think, the highest rated corner in the country last year. If not, he was in the top 2 or 3. And I get it, but I saw some cracks there that I don't know that that's not a little misleading. Iowa State is not. It's not exactly DBU. So you look at what was on the opposite side of that field, and it was way less scary than him.
Mm-hmm.
I still think he's good. There's no shot of me taking him in the first round.
I've seen him mostly in the second round, mid to late second round in a lot of mock drafts.
There are a lot of people that think he is the fallback option for 5 teams in the last 8 or 9 picks of the first round.
Really? Okay. All right.
I've heard that from 2 separate people.
Hey, it's always good to have this on the radar. That way you don't get so thrown when the wrench gets thrown in on draft night, because we always seem to have one. There's a reason why nobody gets these mock drafts right. Right? You got every expert, quote unquote, filling out their mock drafts, and the best ones get 10. That's a good year.
Oh, that's
if you get 10. If you get 10 picks right, team player pick in a mock draft, you're doing really well.
Daniel Jeremiah last year had the best mock draft I've ever seen from a high-end national analyst.
Mm-hmm.
He got 12.
There you go.
This is the best one I've ever seen.
Yep. The wrench is coming somewhere. It just depends on where it's going to fall in. Number 42.
Chris Braswell. High-end, I think, edge rusher. Situational pass rusher to start. He may never be more than that. No, I'm not sure I care.
No.
I think you're getting a player that is Dallas Turner level good. He doesn't run as fast, but he's, I think, as good a pass rusher, and you get him around later.
Mm-hmm.
I think Braswell's a great value.
Tyler Nubin comes in at 41, safety out of Minnesota.
He's the best safety in this class, and I'm not sure it's all that close.
What is it that's so special about him?
He can do everything.
I watched tape on him last night, and as I'm watching it, I'm going, I mean, he's good. There's no doubt he's good. Like, he's not allowing anything around him, but it didn't really ever look special.
Okay, let me see if I can I'll use the analogy I gave earlier. You've gone out with your buddies. Tonight, we're going to score.
Yeah.
No, you're probably not. But it's 1:30. Everybody's starting to they've paired themselves off.
Yep,
Everybody's dance card is filled.
Yeah.
The jukebox comes on. Street light people. And the cute little 8 in the corner is standing on her table going, "This song's about me." That's Tyler Nubin.
Okay.
Because that's the only one here. you're actually cute. So let's go. That worked out way better than I thought it would.
So in a class where there are no great safeties, he's
Just
at
a
least
small town
the best
girl.
option.
Living in a lonely world.
Uh-huh.
Yep, I'd never for the rest of my life when I hear Tyler Nubin's name, and I just came up with that off the top of my head. I will never not hear that song. Ever. Ever. I also have a term for that girl that I will never not call Tyler Nubin. Ever.
There you go. Number 40, West Virginia center Zach Frazier.
He's got a mean streak. Man, he's got a mean streak. I don't know that sometimes the technique doesn't let him down because he's so worried about finishing blocks and he's so worried about just pulverizing people that he reaches and extends a little bit. I have Jackson Powers Johnson comfortably ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
But Cedric Von Prawn is behind him, and I'm not sure Von Prawn's not a guard. Zach Frazier has got that mean streak of a center that I'm real fond of.
Let's go number 39, and then we'll take a break. Defensive tackle, Michael Hall Jr. out of Ohio State.
I think I said this when we were talking about defensive linemen, but that's been a few days ago, and I don't know that I did. I couldn't figure out what it was about him that was pushing him down boards. It's character. Apparently there are red flags that are scream from the mountaintops type of red flags, and that's what's pushing him down. It's not the talent. He's so good that that's going to weigh itself out at some point. I have him higher than most. I would say he probably goes somewhere in the mid-third round, if that is true. I have also heard teams float that because there's no way to verify it to get him to fall to them. So if you see him go somewhere in that 50-ish range, even possibly in the 40s, and you see a team, they don't wait all the way, and the pick comes in pretty quick, don't be shocked if that's where that information came from.
No. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. Another break, then we'll be back to continue with the Mullet 100, the best prospects available in the 2024 NFL Draft. We're live from Detroit, thanks to Ingles Markets. We'll be right back.
This is your Exergen temporal scanner.
All right, you're clear.
Thank you.
ESPN Asheville.
I'd look at better now as we continue to get into the afternoon. The clouds will give way to sunshine. If there's a shower left over early, so be it. Most of us later, upper 60s and dry. Tonight, 40 and clear 30s in some of the nooks and crannies, so a chilly start to our Thursday, but a beauty of a finish. Lots of sunshine, 72. By Friday, clouds will thicken up, maybe a little rain in the afternoon. High 63. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stidgick.
This report is sponsored by Train Heating and Cooling Systems. Train Heating and Cooling Systems are tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. They run together. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent Train dealer. Traininfo.com. It's hard to stop a train.
The future of medicine is here at QC Kinetics. QC is the nation's leader in the most exciting revolution in pain management we've seen in decades, regenerative medicine. If you are tired of achy joints, if your joint pain is keeping you from doing what you love, you need to call QC Kinetics now. Surgery, steroids, drugs, these are no longer your best options. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics is transforming lives with innovative treatments that deliver lasting results. We're talking natural biologics using your body's own power to repair and restore damaged tissue. QC Kinetics is under the leadership of National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkupp. Dr. Scheinkupp is a pioneer in this field with 20 years of clinical work, tons of research, teaching, and publishing. He wants to get you relief with a needle, not a knife. Call QC Kinetics now to learn more about some exciting options. This is a revolutionary approach that can get you long-term relief with no downtime. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. Phone 828-333-9517 in Asheville and in Greenville.
Hi, I'm Chad Greenway. After retiring from the NFL, I've embraced my new role coaching my kids in their youth sports. Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to train, screen, and educate all of our basketball coaches. Visit trustedcoaches.org to learn more. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
When the optimistic Billy Halpern meets a suspicious end, authorities focus on an ex-cop turned criminal, but the investigation goes nowhere for decades. Listen to the podcast Cold-Blooded as two investigators uncover a shocking motive in the pursuit of justice for Billy Halpern.
He was good looking, he was funny, everyone liked him. It's just a shame that they took him from us.
Listen to Cold Blooded on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Cold Blooded to start listening.
If cleanliness is...
We got a minute left.
I know. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
And we are back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. We are not in the Ingles studio right now because Ingles, well, I mean, they've sent us on the road once again. We're live from downtown Detroit preparing for the 2024 NFL Draft. Tomorrow night we will be live on the YouTube, so make sure you go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. That way you'll get an alert when we go live for draft night coverage. Of course, we will be live again tomorrow, noon to 3, and on Friday, noon to 3 as well.
But we'll also be giving you out bangers for the NFL Draft, and you can take those for hockey as well, because the chase for the cup is on. If you want to light the lamp, nothing but beats the action of DraftKings Sportsbook, one of America's top-rated sportsbook apps. DraftKings has you covered with same-game parlays, live betting, odds boosts, all the things you could possibly want as a gambler. And this week, all North Carolina customers can place a pre-game moneyline bet on Carolina, and if they lead by at least 2 goals at any time during the game, you win, even if they end up losing. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Now use code WPEK, and new customers bet $5, get 200 bonus bets instantly. That's code WPEK only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only, new customers only. Subject to regulatory licensing requirements. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. 1 early win per opted-in customer. Maximum betting limits apply. Token expires at the start of the game. See dkng.com/ice for wagering eligibility and terms.
All right, earlier in the program, we gave you breaking news. Amon-Ra St. Brown got a 4-year contract extension with the Detroit Lions for up to $120 million. Now they poured more money into the offensive line. As they've extended with a 4-year contract extension, Penei Sewell. Have you seen the number on this one?
I have not.
All right, so 4-year deal. Let's guess the number. Total and guaranteed.
96.
Higher.
Higher?
Higher. On the total.
110.
Very close. $112 million over the next 4 years. Guaranteed.
75.
85. So close. $112 million over the next 4 years. $85 million guaranteed for Penei Sewell.
Detroit chose violence this morning. If we're just going to extend all of the greatest draft picks we've ever had.
Well, this is how the host of a draft owns the headlines.
No doubt.
This is how we own the stories. It's a great move. Great move for them.
No doubt.
Great move. All right. Let's get back to the Mullet 100. We will have a special episode coming up tonight on the YouTube channel with the top 30 of the Flostradamus 100. Best prospects in 2024. Number 38 out of Clemson, the cornerback, Nate Wiggins.
He's real fast, but he's real thin. And, I think he will be – Philadelphia is the team that I just keep circling of. I feel like that's where he ends up because he fits Vic Fangio so nicely. I'm not in love with him. I think he's very close to T.J. Tampa, and I think he's comfortably behind the Cooper DeJean, Terrion Arnold, Quinyon Mitchell. So that's where he belonged for me. I'm not going to tell you I'm not lower on him than most. I'm also one of the few that actually got to watch him up close and personal, and it didn't take me long to go, you're not that. You might want to be, but you're not.
How about the guy at number 37? Is he that? Jalen Polk out of Washington.
Jalen Polk is a dog. I absolutely love this kid. And I know a lot of other teams do too. He's probably, if I had to make a bet, I would bet my number to where they're drafted, none of them has a bigger discrepancy than Jalen Polk. Because I have him at 37, and I could easily see a path that he falls into the 80s.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
He shouldn't, but he could.
Yep.
Because he doesn't have – there's no height, weight, speed measurable. It's just he is that guy. And I think Jalen McMillan, who has been super popular in the last, I'll go week. I've heard Jalen McMillan's name more in the last 168 hours than I have in the last 168 days. And that tells me something. And it usually means, especially when you have three guys from the same school like this, it usually means one of them's going to fall further than you think, one of them's going to go higher than you think. I think McMillan will ultimately go ahead of Polk, and Polk will drop.
Number 36, offensive tackle out of Georgia, Amarius Mims.
Do it. Defend Amarius Mims, because you do it to me every time his name comes up.
I do defend him because he has all of the tools. He can play. To me, I think he could play either side of the offensive line. I think he's big enough, long enough to be a left tackle. I mean, he didn't play a lot because of injuries, and that's a big problem with a big damn dude.
There it is.
I mean, when you play 6 games in the last 2 years, is that?
Yeah.
No, I think I'm shorting him a little bit, but
I thought it was 8, but
yeah.
Your greatest ability is your availability, and he's never available.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'm not telling you the kid doesn't have raw talent, because he does. He does have raw talent. I'm also not sure that he's so much better than these other guys that I'm going to deal with the injuries. I can't take the risk.
Mm-hmm.
If you're never on the field, it doesn't matter how good you are.
It's tough to spend a first-round pick on that, especially in the top 20.
I don't think he goes in the first round.
Really?
I don't.
Okay, maybe.
I don't, because it seems like every team that gets hot to trot on him, they distance themselves from him in 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. He strikes me. We have one of these every year. That you get the guy that everybody's had in the first round, and then next thing you know, they're out of the first round. And we see him up on that Mel Kiper big board. I see Trey Lance getting drafted behind you. We've had the Airbnb we're staying in has the NFL Draft Vault channel. It was literally on the television when we got here. We haven't moved it since.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see him on that board of he's the best player available. And the next thing you know, he lasts to 47. Nobody can figure out why. It's because the medical was a big old deal.
Yep. Number 35, guard out of UConn, Christian Haynes.
This is a beat-the-table guy for me. That's the one that we come up in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start lofting it out there. And if he's on the clock, or if he's on the board when we get up in the third round, I'm gonna barricade the door, and I'm gonna tell everybody, you got 2 choices. We can take Christian Haynes, or we can all die together. Because I'm gonna light a fire. I'm not putting it out. Right. I got the only extinguisher, and you're going to have to come take it from me. I'm not putting that fire out until we draft Christian Haynes. 10 minutes from now, we could all be L-O-Minnow in trouble. So how about you go put that card in there, Billy?
What's his best part of his game?
He's just got such a mean streak. To me, he is a stereotypical guard. He's the prototype of a guard. That's what I want. Big dude, really solid mover. I mean, he's the big dancing bear, but he's not Amarius Mims or Mekhi Becton, who can just do crazy. Well, he ran a 4.8. Well, whoop-de-damn-do. That's phenomenal. I don't ask him to run. I don't really ask my linemen to run 40-yard dashes very often, but that's awesome. He's a very lateral mover, and I think he's a positive in the run and pass game. I'll be honest with you. My best comp on him is Osiris Torrance. And you remember how high I was on him.
Oh, absolutely.
I had a first-round grade on him last year.
Yes, you did.
And he went in the second round. That's how much better this class is, by the way. If you want a really good example of that, it's Christian Haynes. Because I think him and Osiris Torrance are very much the same guy.
Another guy with back in, well, I guess they all have back into the first round buzz here when we're getting into the low 30s. 34 offensive tackle out of BYU, Kingsley Suamatea.
I can't stop putting him with the Baltimore Ravens. He is a gigantic human.
Mm-hmm. He's actually one that I wouldn't be surprised to see San Francisco try to get ahead of Baltimore to take him.
They're already ahead of Baltimore, aren't they?
No, they're at 31, aren't they?
No. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
Being in Detroit, I think I broke my brain. If Detroit was at 31 and San Francisco was at 29, because that's how it should have gone. But
yeah, no.
Revisionist history, I suppose.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you. I think San Francisco needs a guard more than they need a tackle.
Okay.
And I don't see Suamatea doing that. I also don't think there's a path he falls past the 6th pick of the second round. He is an older kid, which is very standard for BYU. But I think there's a lot more to grow. Where he's at right now justifies taking him in the middle of the second round. Where he could be 3 years from now, I would take him. Put it this way. J.C. Latham is the next offensive lineman on the board. He ain't far from here.
Mm-hmm.
That should tell you a lot. Not because I love Latham, but because of how many other people do.
Yep.
That's how good I think Suamatea can be.
All right, and number 33 on the Flostradamus Top 100, wide receiver out of South Carolina, Xavier Leggett.
He's had a weird roller coaster ride for me through this draft process because I started really high on him watching South Carolina tape. Then I went to the Senior Bowl. He was at the Senior Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And my belief in him dropped off a cliff. Then I met him, and it surged. I started wearing off again, and now we're to the draft process, and if Carolina doesn't take him at 33, you did it wrong. Because you're not going to get him at 39.
Mm-hmm.
I feel very sure of that. And I don't see how you don't add this kid to that team.
Is he a future one?
I think so. He is a weird combo of Deebo Samuel and A.J. Brown. And you know this. We've done this show together for quite some time. I've had a receiver every single year that I just look at and go, you know what? I can't explain it. I cannot explain it. It was Deebo Samuel the first year we did this.
Mm-hmm.
It was A.J. Brown one year. And, yes, there is no irony to that is why I'm comparing, because that's how I got here. It was Amon-Ra St. Brown a few years ago. I don't remember who it was last year. Last year's draft class has completely gone out of my head.
Yeah, I'm so.
But I know I had
24. Yeah,
Xavier Leggett's my guy this year because I like a lot of the others, but I don't think there's a chance that they slip. I don't really think there's much of a chance that Leggett slips, but if one of them did, it would be him. And I just absolutely love him. William Workman asked, would I take Keon Coleman or Leggett at 33? Well, I can only answer that one way. I have said one of their names. I haven't said the other. I also don't think there's a chance Keon Coleman's going to be there at 33.
Yes, and that other
I have
name,
a sizable wager on him to go in the first round.
And that other name you won't hear until tonight's top 30.
We're going to do that 7?
I believe that should be the
It gives us 4 hours to do all the other things.
Yeah. Let's go number 32, offensive tackle out of Oklahoma, Tyler Guyton.
He was really impressive in Mobile. There's been no hype on him whatsoever since. He is raw, and he is the thinnest looking 330-pound man I've ever seen in my life.
Yes, he is.
And he moves so well. He's another one he's a bit of a project. But if you get the most out of him, he could be Teron Armstead 3 years from now. And I wouldn't be shocked at the least. A lot of people don't seem to like him, and I'm not really sure I understand why.
Is he strong? I mean,
he needs to bulk up.
Like, is he freakishly strong? Because he doesn't look like it.
He's not freak strong, no.
I get the mobility, I get the frame and the size and all of that. You can like all of those things. That's probably why nobody's talking about him, because he just, I don't know. He does fine, but he's not a bull, right? He doesn't dominate. other guys. He's just good enough to keep you off. And, in pass pro, that's all you really want. Troy Franklin at number 31, last one of the afternoon show here. Troy Franklin's amazing.
He is.
I feel like this is low, but I don't know how I would have him much higher.
I mean, you got to tell me the player you'd have in front of.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how I would have him that much higher, but I do love him.
The only thing that I would caution you on Troy Franklin, and I've fallen into this trap a lot of times too, is that I see the height, weight, speed monster wide receiver that I just freak out about, and I can't stop. I can't stop doing it. They've all been busts.
Mm-hmm.
He's that one for me this year. As he's got all of the physical tools. The tape doesn't necessarily scream it, but what he could be 3 years from now. That is a very checkered list that started with Mr. John Baldwin many years ago. And it's a graveyard of 3-year bust and out of the league. I don't think Troy Franklin's going to be that, but I would caution. Just got to know that.
The Sportsocracy is on the road live in Detroit, Michigan. We'll be back here tomorrow at noon. Tune in tonight, 7 o'clock on the YouTube channel. We will have the top 30 of Flostradamus's top 100. Just trying to get you into the habit of evening episodes before we cover the draft live tomorrow night from Marcius Park here in Detroit. And the trip, once again, all thanks to our good friends over at Ingles Supermarkets. We will talk to you this evening on the YouTube, tomorrow right back here on ESPN Asheville at noon.
Above and beyond, that's what defines.
All right, you're clear.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, brother.
Parks Ford Hendersonville.
I'll time this out.
As your hometown dealer, Parks Ford works hard for you
I'll time
to
this
provide
out
a one-of-a-kind buying experience through incredible service, honest communication, and trusted.
So I'm good to head out?
Buy to experience the Parks promise yourself. A promise to do better, to be better.
Hang with
day.
it till the top.
We can't wait to meet you and help
just
you
to make sure that it goes off.
You. Stop in and shop
here.
ParksFordHendersonville.com. That's ParksFordHendersonville.com.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. Get 6 times longer lasting freshness plus odor protection with Downy Unstoppables in-wash scent beads.
Asheville Smiles has been featured in national publications like Good Housekeeping and Woman's Day. And check out this 5-star Google review. My dental experience was wonderful. I cannot say enough about Dr. Merrill and her amazing team at Asheville Smiles Cosmetic and Family Dentistry. Dr. Merrill took time to explain everything. She made me feel relaxed and confident that I was in good hands. I apologize for those tears at your office. Those were tears of joy. Thank you all so much, and thank you, Dr. Merrill, for the hope to get my smile back.
All right, you're all
check
timed
out
out.
Asheville Smiles online at ashevillesmiles.com.
Did you know USDA
All right, brother.
choice and
Appreciate it.
prime
Good
cuts
job.
of meat?
We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Maybe it's time to
Okay, talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you, man.
Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. Grass-fed, organic, you name it. Not only that, we'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. And we grind meat fresh in the store multiple times a day. It's all in the bag. That's the best meat in town for the best folks in town. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
I look at better now as we continue to get into the afternoon. The clouds will give way to sunshine. If there's a shower left over early, so be it. Most of us later, upper 60s and dry. Tonight, 40 and clear 30s in some of the nooks and crannies. So a chilly start to our Thursday, but a beauty of a finish. Lots of sunshine, 72. By Friday, clouds will thicken up, maybe a little rain in the afternoon. High 63. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Train Heating and Cooling Systems. Train Heating and Cooling Systems are tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. They run together. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent Train dealer. Traininfo.com. It's hard to stop a train.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban